Ah,
Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to discuss tonight. We're going to discuss musical gimmicks that were good at one point that went bad.
All right.
So I'm going to start us off with the infamous Milli Vanilli, a band that came out in the 80s, was really popular, and then somewhere along the way, something went wrong.
No, something went wrong. Everyone knows what went wrong. Although
They switched to CDs instead of cassettes.
no, real simple. The whole fiasco, which wasn't even that big of a deal if you consider the fact that lots of stars do it. But the thing that really broke their thing was that they lip synced.
Well, they do that for music videos anyway, but
Well,
if they're going to record music videos, they
no,
lip sync it.
right, but it was a concert though. Although they're not the only one who did it. Actually, there's quite a few artists that lip sync their own stuff when, like, if like for example, if their voice has been rough or something like that, or they'll use the backing vocals. That way, basically, they just sing along with their own thing.
Kind of drown it out.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of cut out the rough edges. It's not that uncommon of a trick, but they got lambasted, and so that's really what destroyed a lot of their career. It's kind of like the Vanilla Ice thing.
Well, I wouldn't have said that if they weren't recording it for concert. Like, yeah, I think the fact that it got recorded instead of just something somebody heard about at one concert, it got recorded and then duped over and over. It's like getting something on fucking YouTube and the bitch is out there forever, you know, kind of mentality. But no, which they didn't sing any of their music though, and that was the story. That mattered too. Whereas the other ones, a lot of times they'll record their own stuff and then sing over it, lip sync over it later. It's still their stuff. Milli Vanilli's wasn't. It was actually two other people that did really great singing, but didn't look the part real well. But they still did shows afterwards.
I'll say I'm really old, so I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all something that happened during the Milli Vanilli time, since like you and I are the only ones probably listening to this that actually memorized it or remembered this. When Entertainment Tonight broke the story about it, and at the end they said, "This is what we expect that Milli Vanilli actually sounded like on the concert." They played the music video, but what they did was they turned the volume off. That was all they did to the music video.
I forgot about that. You mentioned it.
You know, so of course you're hearing this amazing breakthrough about this band that's very popular, and you expect them to have some like their actual voices, and all they did was they just muted it. PT
That's
Barnes.
like in Living Color or Saturday Night Live type of deal.
Nope. No, the one for In Living Color was they were arguing over who was Millie and who was Vanilli.
Right, I remember that one.
No, you were Millie last time.
All right. I need somebody to, for some reason, I can't click on the little links thing at the bottom. Share the link on the Sostra page. Can you do that, Mike?
I can't share it on the Sostra page. All I
Not
do is
the top link, but the one that you.
No, I mean I don't have, and I don't want.
Can you get the link out of there? When I click on it, the box goes away before my mouse is having an issue or something. I can't.
Where is the? I don't even know where is the link at on here.
It should be at the bottom say links, viewers. See that?
Actually, I think it's only for you because you're the moderator.
Shit. I guess nobody can hear this one. I can't find it.
Let's see.
I got it. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Alright. My mouse is acting all wonky.
Do you need a mouse, bro? Because I actually have a spare one.
You got one like right this second? If not, then...
Well, I ain't running it right this instant over to you because I'm in the middle of a show.
Shoot.
But what I mean is if you want, I can go ahead and I can drop them by for you tomorrow. So that way next Friday is not this issue.
So that'll work fine.
Okay.
I'll go to the sound streaming page and that way we have a listener base, which the YouTube know where to find it anyway. But it's the ones that are sound streaming guys. And since we, all right, here we go.
Oh, goodness.
All right, if you're listening to this on YouTube right this instant, go find our sound streaming guys and give them the link. How's that?
All right, I shared it on my wall. Everybody share it from there, just so we can have it's funner with listeners.
Okay.
Usually.
I really don't care. I just do it to hear my own voice.
I know you are. It's the narcissism in you.
I just like to hear what kind of goofy crap y'all are gonna say. That's why.
Exactly.
I think it's why everybody listens to Codex.
Exactly.
They want to hear what. And of course, all right. I didn't get to introduce everybody because we had a little technical difficulty again. We have with us, as always, Mike, Codex from Sostra Radio, And we have Mr. Huge filling in for DJ Wicked until Wicked comes back from vacation. So this week and next week, you will have Huge here helping us host. Say hi, Huge.
Awesome.
Huge, can you hear me? Hello. Okay.
Oh, he got all quiet on us.
He got quiet. He's shy and bashful.
I say I'd like to make a point, just so everyone knows. What it is Josh didn't actually book Huge, and so he's just pretending like he's there, but you can't hear him.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
is that what it is?
Cool, awesome.
I'm gonna do that with other artists. Like we got with us as always 50 Cent, 50.
Right.
Oh, Mr. Curtis Jackson, are you there? No. I'm gonna try that.
That cough sound, that was huge, just to let y'all know.
Yeah, and technology sucks. That's how I'm just gonna put it for right now.
All right, so we've covered Milli Vanilli, and now we're gonna cover another artist that had a very quick rise and fall, and that's already Mr. Vanilla Ice, and started with a great gimmick and fell really fast.
Yeah, but that one,
Now he's robbing his neighbor's trash cans and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
like I said,
no,
that's messed up, man. Like I said, he lives in a fucking rich ass neighborhood. That's the reason why he's robbing people's trash cans. I found my 50-pound weight in someone's trash.
Oh.
Nice.
Right, my 50-pound dumbbell. I was walking home one day and I saw this dumbbell set next to the trash. Obviously, they couldn't lift it into the trash can. There's a 50-pound dumbbell there, and I'm looking around and going, they got that right next to their trash can. I guess I'm carrying that bitch home with me.
Who throws away a 50-pound dumbbell?
They probably did. They probably used it to keep the can lids on, and he just stole their.
No,
Right.
but the thing is, it was sitting right next to it, and I'm like sitting there going, man. I'm like, that's a 50
apparently the neighbors weren't throwing that stuff away. That Mr.
Yeah, of course they're gonna say that. What's that, Ty?
So they just didn't want to carry it no more.
It's like, well, if you're the neighbors, of course they're gonna say that because he was getting rooted through their personal stuff, and so whoever it was that was following him, because he's part of that reality show, he's like looking and like, oh, here's their S&M bondage gear. Oh, and here's a nice television they threw out. And look, they wasted about $2,000 worth of food, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh, those guys are pricks. And so then, of course, they're like, no, that wasn't us. That wasn't stuff we were throwing out.
But
We
with
just put it in the garbage for safekeeping.
But with his hard hitting gangster lyrics for the day, and white might I add, white matters.
Especially then, white mattered. Now it doesn't.
Sure,
so much.
there wasn't no really gangster white rappers back then, but he fell really fast. You know what I'm saying? His career died as quick as it came.
And that one was something that was completely
so did MC Hammer. So you don't hear nothing from MC Hammer today, or even 2 or 3 years after his career started, he kind of died. He put out 2 albums and then no more Hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, I think he put out like 2 after that, but I don't remember anything about him. The only songs I remember from him was on the first one you had Can't Touch This and Pray, and then on the second one you had like Too Legit. And I'm looking him up right now because it seemed to me that he had actually like an album or 2 after that, but
maybe. But I'll put it to you like this: I never heard of it, therefore it didn't exist. As far as it was like
holy crap!
The Cranberries' last album sold like 3,000 copies. Like Huge's has probably sold that. You know what I'm saying? It just.
We had to take that back. Apparently, he has not stopped making music.
In his basement, selling it to his neighbor don't count.
I don't know. He's actually done stuff with the Dog Pound. He's done stuff with Tupac. He did stuff with who else? Now that one don't sound right. That they have him associated. Actually, have Insane Clown Posse. I do not remember him being on Insane Clown
I don't
Posse.
think that's true.
Yeah, that one sounds wrong. He did something with Deion
Maybe
Sanders.
as a spoof.
He did something with Deion Sanders.
Cool.
What?
With Deion Sanders.
Let's see here. MC Hammer released his 8th studio album, Active Duty, following the September 11 attacks.
Huh.
I don't know if you can be doing, you can't touch this. That's the thing about rap. Rap has a shelf life, the way that some rap does, but hardcore gangster rap has a shelf life. Maybe it is better for the rappers to die like Tupac or like Eazy-E and stuff like that, because nobody wants to see a 60-year-old man. I mean, you for the Grateful Dead, that's fine, but MC Hammer can't touch this at 50. He's like 53 now.
Hey, Dr. Dre still be
It'd
doing
be
his
more
shit,
like
though.
don't want to touch this.
Right.
What's that, Huge?
Dr. Dre still be on his shit though.
So,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? What, 2 years
Okay,
ago, he
but
wrote
he-
that song, See the Doctor with Eminem, and that song got a lot of hype.
Yeah, but he progressed with his music. He's not spitting out
Actually, but from what I'm seeing here,
hardcore gangster. He still is, you know.
well, MC Hammer was never hardcore gangster anyway. His stuff was always the opposite. His stuff was actually a lot like Dean stuff. Like
Well,
Crazy
yeah, but this
Dean.
is a lot worse because it's not. Because it's
He was more like almost choir boy. You know what I'm saying?
right. But it's even worse, you know. No offense, I don't know if you've heard Prince's stuff lately, but and that's
No,
pretty much-
I think the one when
he does like this gospel where he became ultra religious or something like that.
I got
DMX did that too, actually.
What, went ultra religious?
Yeah, he went real, like, you know, everybody knows he was stop, drop, open up shop, you know what I mean? And then
Right.
he got real bad on drugs and then found God, and then now he's on this whole religion.
If I remember correctly, Fred Durst actually did the same thing. He's actually become religious.
Yeah, but nobody likes that guy from the beginning.
Although
The
this
band
is
itself
cool.
was good, but him by himself, he just didn't have his thing didn't sell well.
This is actually worth noting though.
What's that?
He was good.
In March 2009, MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice did a concert,
Really? That is
Nope.
cool.
and the concert was to aid in the promotion of Hammer's new music and television show.
I didn't know he had a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
But you know, I really rank people like Vanilla Ice, which really was the rise and fall guy. I mean, that guy, like I said, he's digging in dumpsters now, whatever you want to call it. That's a reality show. That's getting desperate on the thing, you know. Now, as a motocross driver, don't get me wrong, his career was full. You know what I'm saying? You know, like any other motocross driver, he had a good long career as one. But as far as a rapper goes, it was really fad quick. And just for anybody to know, MC Hammer's real name is Stanley Kirk Burrell.
Was not aware of that.
That's why he probably went by MC Hammer, so nobody would be aware of it.
uh,
Hey,
Alright.
would you buy an album with that on it?
No.
Do what?
I said, would you buy an album with that on it?
no,
Hey,
no.
you know, I don't know if you could sell it. You can't touch this with that. You know, you can't touch
Yeah.
Burrell. You know, boom, boom, boom.
No, but you could sell Prey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that.
Stanley Burrell. That sounds like a gospel singer's thing. You know what I'm saying? And
I can
hell,
see that.
he looks like one of those black pastors in movies anyway. Let's say so. You know, it says here he is considered the forefather and pioneer of pop rap.
You know who
Which
would make a funny rapper?
Huh.
Mr. T would make a funny rapper.
Actually,
Yeah,
Mr.
sure,
T.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he did, but it was short-lived.
Yeah, very sure.
I didn't know that. That's kind of funny.
Hey man, if there's something, Mr. T's done it. Mr. T was awesome back in the day, man.
All right. But we got we got these musical blunders. You know, I don't want to call their careers blunders. That's just I shouldn't say that. But you know, these
Falling out, these things that basically dropped them off the map.
yeah, and you know, because you know, people accuse people like Axl Rose of falling off the map or whatever, you know, like that. But not until he put out, you know, quite a few albums and stuff like that. To me, that's natural for, you know, bands to break up and stuff like that. You know, put out 4 or 5 albums and then, you know, be done with it or whatever. But I wouldn't consider that. You know, like I said, yeah, Vanilla Ice was popular for like 2 weeks. You know. He came back out after the Ninja Turtle movie, and then, you know, he did another hit, and that was it. Yeah.
And that was an awesome track, man.
Well, yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah,
he
that's-
and I give him that credit. He's one of the first guys
Had to be.
before Wu-Tang to sing about ninjas. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right?
well, you know, now they talk about
Wu-Tang did his
Wu-Tang,
style.
right? You should be suing them for stealing that stuff because, you know, long before Wu-Tang ever came around, he was singing about the ninjas. You know, Turtles at that. You know, but.
Since Mr. T was mentioned, 1984 he released the album Mr. T's Commandments, and then he released a second album called Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool.
Cool.
And so it said that the tone was actually more or less very uplifting, like instructing people stay in school, stay away from drugs, that kind of stuff. He's a born-again Christian, And after Hurricane Katrina, he actually gave up all his gold.
Really?
Really?
Yep. It says he gave up virtually all his gold after helping with the cleanup after Hurricane Katrina. He said, as a Christian,
Three wise men or something.
well, he said when as a Christian he saw other people losing their lives in the land, he felt like it'd be a sin for him to continue wearing gold and just try to show off and be like that.
I got you. It makes sense from a religious standpoint, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the pompousness, you see others suffering, and you're like, yeah, look at me, I'm living large. I can kind of get where he's coming from with that. I mean, not really my thing, but that was pretty cool.
But he was B.A. Baracus, so he can do what he wants, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I pity anyone who has a
I'll
problem.
always like
Right?
Mr. T, you know what I'm saying? And he had a real corny career, you know what I'm saying? Almost like Hulk Hogan's movie career.
Yes. Okay, actually, are we allowed to do that? Because we can actually go that route, too. It's not exactly music-related. But Hulk Hogan's movie career is a perfect example of something that started out strong and it just kind of bombed.
Really?
I don't know. He did that show, the Hogan show, with the reality
Yeah,
show.
with his family. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna quote some moron who was just talking on the air. Man, doing a reality show, that's really kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel.
And it was, but for a wrestler, that's fine because it's probably a step up for wrestling. At least wrestling then. Now, people think of wrestling today as the sports entertainment that Vince McMahon made it, but I remember wrestling through the '80s, and they have Captain Lou Albano on there along with Cyndi Lauper, and
That was awesome.
No, don't get me wrong. It was the prime of wrestling. Those days were good. The days of Randy Macho Man Savage and all that, and all the gimmicks and stuff. Love the gimmicks. You know what I'm saying? Before they
I like Stone Cold
wrestling
Steve
was,
Austin.
it did lose something when he announced it was big. It gained something. It's a real great show, but it lost something too, and that was that everybody thought it was real, so the gimmicks were even more shocking.
Yeah.
When they did do them, nowadays everybody knows wrestling for sure is fake. It's been announced to the world that it was fake, and nobody cared. But in the '80s, some of those gimmicks were really cool. And the wrestler gimmicks were really cool too. You had wrestlers like Captain Lou Albano. That was an interesting, Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes in with a 2x4. Just
actually, I would say that's the part that I think I miss most about old professional wrestling is the fact that the new stuff. A lot of the guys, I mean, don't get me wrong, you still have some personalities, but for the most part, any B-string guy is really boring.
So nowadays or then?
Yeah, nowadays. There is no honky-tonk man.
Oh, God, I love the honky-tonk. I don't know why people didn't...
I like to hate him. I didn't like him as a wrestler, but I did love to hate him. He was a great villain.
As you know, Uncle Billy runs a wrestling... We used to run a wrestling federation. He's passed away now, but... He ran a wrestling and he got people like he would pick up those old guys like Honky Tonk Man and stuff like that for it. And I thought that was great,
Josh.
And, yeah. Oh, I already suggested getting
Fatty McNasty, man. Or sorry, he's changing gimmicks, isn't he? I think he just said he's no longer doing that. He's doing a hillbilly now.
Yeah, but we'll definitely get him on the show and
hell yeah.
Because sadly enough, the only thing is, I wish Junior would do it because Junior wrestled ECW. So
I got you.
A bigger, like a more prestigious career, even though Wesley's had a longer career. And
well,
which,
maybe we can talk to Wes first, and then if we get him on here, then we'll talk to.
The problem with Junior is he had to get a gastric bypass, so he doesn't look like the wrestler that was there. He's down to like 150 pounds, down from like 400.
Yeah, but it's a radio show.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think that. I think that's why he dropped the wrestling altogether was because he lost all the weight. And like as far as I know, he doesn't wrestle anymore. I can't swear to that, but we'll definitely check with him because But
hold on, because when you're talking, Ty can't talk. What's that, Ty?
I just said it's hard to be a wrestler when you're my size. You can't really throw anybody around then,
Oh yeah, tell that to 619.
Yeah, true.
I was like Tupac, or wasn't it X-Pac?
Let's say, well, if you're X-Pac or Rey Mysterio, that's the 619.
Yeah.
619's on Mysterio. Hell yeah.
Let's say. For a while, that was my youngest kid's favorite wrestler, man. He actually was trying to let me. He was trying to let me. I got a Rey Mysterio mask at one point, and he wanted to wear it to school. I'm like, dude, you can't wear that to school.
It's dedication.
But we'll definitely get Freddie McNasty or whatever he's going by now on here to talk about wrestling. That would be definitely a cool guest. I'll talk to him this weekend and see about it.
All right, yeah, because I was just thinking that we were talking about getting, just odds and ends.
Just musical. And he is musical too, because he actually wrote the Shoney song.
And he wrote another one too. I can't remember what the other one is.
And I think we will play. Can you get that for later today in the show? We'll
actually, give me one.
Let him hear his song.
Yep. I'm on it now.
Okay. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of but I guess the best way to put it is like get back a little bit back on topic here is what was the topic now? Music careers that went bad or went south. I don't know if they went bad. I mean, they made more money than I can do, but they went south or whatever. And the next one I'm gonna announce, put on there is the New Kids on the Block.
They suck.
Now that is one. Well, you could say they suck, and actually I would agree with you, except for they were very, very popular for their time. Like
I don't know why though.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Y'all know they try to come back, right?
I know that Donnie Wahlberg did acting or something like that. I don't know all of Joey or I don't know what.
Cool tidbit about them though. I used to live down the street from where their mansion was.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Let's see. Where the hell did you live where you were close to a mansion?
Right over there on Wisconsin and DeLand. There's a mansion over there that they used to stay at.
Did they just own it, or were they actually ever, or were they never really there? Because that's a different.
I don't know. I never had the guts to actually go over there and find out. I didn't want to get attacked by security or something if if they were actually there all the time. Fuck that shit.
Interesting. There are 3 mansions in DeLand.
Nobody went over near that mansion because everybody was afraid of it. So
like I said, there is
3 mansions in DeLand. I don't know.
I don't know what qualifies as a mansion, but like I said, I know that directly behind the woods, behind the.
I think what qualifies as a mansion is if you say it is, more or less.
Oh, I live in a mansion.
I don't know. It was a pretty big bad fucking house. I mean,
Stetson has a mansion over there too. I mean, it looks kind of like a mansion. I mean, but it's not really big like you would think.
No, the reason I say that is because, like I said, I always call the place that's behind the I always call the place that's behind the movie theater a mansion, but I don't know if it technically qualifies as a mansion. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It's just a really big fucking house, and it's where they, I guess, lived at or worked at or practiced their shit at or something. They did shit there, okay? That's all I know. They did shit there. I thought it was
955 West Wisconsin Avenue, DeLand, Florida. A British colonial style mansion. So yeah, I guess there is on there. So apparently that qualifies as a mansion.
Okay, see?
But no, it's a British mansion, so that could be like currency exchange too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I gotcha. British mansion is only a large house over here.
Right. Yeah. Because be like a Russian mansion or some North Korean mansion. It's a little shack or something. So, but yeah, it qualifies as a mansion. So.
Okay.
And there's apparently 3 of them in the land that at least the thing was pointing out.
Then my assertion stands.
What's that?
I had sex on the lawn of a mansion. Well, I say that, but like I told you, I didn't actually know if it was really qualified as a mansion. It's just a big house. So I don't know if that's technically a mansion. It looked like a mansion to me. But
I don't know. That's what they consider. When Hughes used to live next door, he lived in the slave quarters. I don't really know. But there was a mansion on the hill. It was an old plantation house. And there was the mansion, and then they rented out the slave quarters that had been modernized to the 60s or whatever. They're just regular houses, but originally they were slave quarters.
Yeah.
From the original, what did you, tobacco, I think, farm. Was it tobacco or cotton or something? I don't remember. But, in Northern Virginia, so, there was a mansion there, and that qualifies as a mansion, but it wasn't really big. It might have had maybe 10, 15 rooms.
Yeah.
But it was a historical site.
I gotcha. Yeah, because like I said, I was just like I said, I don't know what technically qualifies as all, so I wasn't sure, you know.
I live in this mansion right here. What are you talking about? I got an addition to my mobile home. Next to the mansion out here.
I say technically I have an addition to my house. What we did was we turned the garage into another room. So I mean that's technically an addition, right?
Sure, we'll call that.
Isn't the garage your workout area?
No, not anymore. The living room is going to be my workout area. The garage is going to be my workshop, and then we're actually storing stuff in the shed instead of vice versa. It's too hard to get out to the shed because obviously then when the phone rings or when you do the restroom or get another drink, you have to come back in the house anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm swapping
you
it
should get
too.
you a mini fridge out there.
No, because the whole point was I didn't want stuff in there.
Ah.
Right. Matter of fact, I never even brought a cup in there. I would only bring bottles that were sealable in there.
All right, so we're back to the New Kids on the Block. We have apparently their names were Jonathan, Jordan, Joey, Donnie, and Danny. And Donnie Wahlberg, obviously everybody knows Mark Wahlberg, who apparently had a baby. But his brother went into acting too, Donnie, and I knew that was what he did. But yeah, apparently they secretly reunited in 2007. I say if you have to secretly reunite as a fan, probably shouldn't do it.
No, I disagree with you.
Interestingly, they went on tour with the Backstreet Boys in 2011, though.
No, I would say actually I think there's a really good point behind that. I mean, think about it. It's kind of like the IRA, right? The government doesn't want you playing together, and I'm sure the government doesn't want New Kids on the Block playing together, so you have to reunite in secret.
This isn't one of those bands that got disbanded in the '80s by the U.S. government, though.
No, they got disbanded by society for bad taste.
Oh, okay. But yeah, apparently their career went very short. I think they put out a couple albums. They actually put out some in the early '90s too that I've never. One called "Allegations of Lip Syncing." I guess everybody was reeling from the Milli Vanilli lip syncing scandal. The group found themselves accused of lip syncing by Gregory McPherson, a music teacher, who was listed as an associate producer and string arranger of the group's third album, Step by Step. Okay. I wonder if they did lip sync.
Probably.
Apparently we're about to have another guest in the hangout.
Okay,
Awesome.
we have another guest.
Who is it?
Mac.
Score.
No, don't let that guy in.
Oh, too late.
So, New Kids on the Block, apparently they did come back, and I'm not sure. From 1995 to 2007, they were broken up, and then they come back and did some reunion stuff with Backstreet Boys, which is appropriate, I guess. The Backstreet Boys are the New Kids of the Block, of the 2000s and shit. So.
Yeah, I can't believe they even still do shit.
Who, the Backstreet Boys or the
Yeah.
New Kids on the Block?
No, Backstreet Boys.
And
I
figured
figured they would phase out real quick, like most boy bands do, but they didn't. They're still going. Which I
Look
have
how
to
old
say,
New Kids on the Block is. They're older than we are.
well, I was gonna say, as a former Backstreet Boys fan, who I loved them, back when I was a kid, because they were like super fucking popular, and I loved them. As their music progressed, like after Millennium album came out, everything else sucked. I hated it. I was like, God, this stuff sucks. What happened to this stuff I like?
Welcome Matt Castor to the chat. We got him in here now. Apparently he said he hacked our stream, so we're letting him in. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
whatever. I got nothing better to do.
Oh well, thank you. We appreciate that boost of confidence for the radio show. I didn't have nothing better to do on Friday night, so I went on social.
Gee, thanks. We don't
Pretty
like you
much.
either.
I didn't say I didn't like you guys. I'm just saying
He said
I
he
just
was
got out
bored.
of work.
Oh yeah, you can only come and visit and hang out with us on here when you're bored and have nothing better to do.
Hey, if you had something better to do, it was better, so that's why he would do it. I get it. If I had something better to do tonight, I don't think I would be on here. If I had something better than
You have
this.
something better to do tonight.
Well, come here. We'll close out this chat, and I'll get started on you.
Okay.
You there, Huge?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay. We ain't hearing much from you tonight. We try to. Usually you're loud and talk too much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why aren't you talking at all? What's up with that?
I'm just
Because
listening.
you got something better to do too.
No, y'all topic is a little old for my generation.
All right. Dude,
Nah,
y'all
I
have
got
any-
a question.
Go ahead, Mac.
Why the hell was it as soon as I joined here we're talking about boy bands? Like, what the fuck?
Well,
we
we
were
heard Mac
talking about
Hatcher. We thought of
music,
New
so boy
Kids on the
bands came
Block.
to mind.
Trying to put us in a boy band.
That's y'all's next career, guys. Y'all gonna be a boy band together. With
Fuck
you,
no.
Gene, and Mac on the helm. Oh yeah, you're gonna be singing pop tunes.
Hell,
the new-
hell no.
Now we
Hey,
have
you-
to get him to
you
do it.
said
just
it
'cause it's
myself.
hilarious.
You said it yourself. I can't sing, so I ain't doing that shit.
Oh, they can't either. Apparently,
You
they
don't
were
have to
singing.
sing.
You
All you have
missed
to do
Milli
is
Vanilli.
like move your lips.
No, we're
Like-
actually discussing the topic tonight, which is musical blunders, careers that rose and fell really fast. We started with Milli Vanilli, and then on to Vanilla Ice, and then the New Kids on the Block, just stuff like that. But
I would say Dream Street qualifies as that because I only know of one album they ever did.
I don't. It doesn't really matter. I mean, as far as the one-hit wonders go, or not even one-hit wonders necessarily, but bands that rose and fell really fast, which boy bands always do. They never
Yeah.
stay strong long. They really can't because they sell to teeny bars.
Going fast.
1 week it's Hanson, next week it's New Kids on the Block, next week it's Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or what's the other one? 98
One
Degrees.
Direction.
Yeah, I liked all of those. Thank you.
Well, that's my point is, but look, now you don't listen to those nearly as
no,
much
not
because
anymore.
for a
Only
10-year-old
like
girl,
one
that's
two
great.
songs here
But
or there, but most of them just kind of suck when you become an adult.
Yeah, I
girl,
think
that's
the
great,
only
but,
think the only boy band I listened to in my younger years was fucking Blink 182.
Hey,
I
I
don't
like
think they really qualify. I don't think they really qualify as
They were like the rock,
boy band.
like a rock
They were considered like on the rocky edge of a boy band. Some people call them boy band. Some people call them fucking.
Blink 182,
Alternative.
or it's that new age punk style like AFI and stuff. It's almost like a new punk style to be like boy band / punk or something like that. That's kind of a new style. It's getting pretty popular. Sadly enough, I don't care much for that kind of music. Period. If I'm gonna listen to punk, I want to hear like the Misfits or something like that. But
Right.
Green Day to me is about the lowest I'll go in like softer punk.
Oh, I remember when you used to listen to Offspring and shit. Don't try to fool nobody.
But also, really, they aren't really punk, or at least I wouldn't consider them punk.
I mean,
Hell,
He
there's
just called you on your shit.
well, Offspring, I love Offspring. I still love Offspring. What are you talking about?
listen, Offspring.
But
See, I'd rather listen to Metallica.
Oh yeah, but that's
But like Dexter Holland from since you mentioned Offspring, Dexter Holland and stuff like that.
but anything before the Black Album.
We can't hear you there. You broke up there a little bit.
Hear me?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I said if you're listening to Metallica, it's gotta be anything before the Black Album. They're the one that was solid for decades and then got soft and with the shit.
I think we were talking about that last week. Metallica going fucking corporate.
Yeah.
In all fairness to Metallica, where else really were going to go? They were already legends of rock by the end of the 80s. There really wasn't nowhere to go but corporate in a way, So now they're trying. They define themselves as one of the best metal bands around, and I think now they're trying to define themselves as a unique, talented artist. I think that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, now they're I mean, I know Dexter Holland. He runs with a lot of punk bands and stuff, but I never really considered Offspring to be punk. I don't think anybody did, or at least not during that day. In the '80s, punk was Black Flag or the Misfits.
Yeah.
Rollins, shit like that.
Hey, Mike, we missed you.
Oh, there
Hi,
he is.
everyone.
We're
Yeah.
knocking that from your pay. You know what I'm saying? You're not 15 minutes, knocking 15 minutes pay.
Man, that'll put me in the negative. That don't work. That don't work for
That
me.
was the goal. What are you talking about? Instead of paying Mac and Huge, I'm billing Mac and Huge for this opportunity.
What the fuck ever.
Hey, you get to be in a room with me. It doesn't get much better than that in life, I'm telling you.
You get to be in the room with me.
Say, but no. Apparently, I know what I'm gonna be spending some money on in the next week.
Me a computer? I know, thanks.
You wish.
Hey, don't be using my computer money for you a computer, because that was reserved for me.
Say, well, this thing is freaking dying on me, and I know what the problem is, but it's hardware, so I'm pretty much screwed.
I thought you bought new case, new specs, all that shit.
I bought Terra new case, new specs. I just bought me new case, put my old guts in it.
Oh, you need better guts.
Yeah, apparently. Well, that computer is pretty old. I got it in like 2007 or something like that. I mean, it was top of the line back when I got it. It was that generation i7 just beefed up, but the graphics card's going out on it. But unfortunately, it's also having some other problems, like the network card's going out, and that's on board and stuff. So I'm just gonna ditch it.
I got 2 questions for you that we were talking about while you were calling. That's I think Mac was referring to Blink-182 as a boy band, and I really didn't consider them a boy band. I've heard that early soft punk, but I wonder your take on it.
That's a tough call. No, I wouldn't call Blink-182 a boy band. I think that the point behind them was to kind of emulate what you'd expect to see in a boy band. I think that was kind of their thing, was they were like basically they were trying to be silly, and so I think that the idea was to take that boy band image and then turn it upside down.
And
Yeah,
Huge,
boy
he
band.
made reference to Offspring being a punk band, and I don't see that either.
Actually, they are defined as punk, even though it's not. It's
Now they are, but I don't think they were back then. You know, in the '80s, you know, bands like Black Flag and Rollins and the Misfits, that was punk. You know what I'm saying? In the '80s, when Offspring first started out, I don't think they really qualified as punk back then. You know, or even to the '90s. Maybe in the later. Now I know they do a lot of work with.
Well, you got to remember that they were greatly tied with Green Day, and they were considered punk, even though they're not a punk band by actual punk of the '80s standards, '70s and '80s.
Well, New Age, I believe that that's the defining quality of Green Day, is that they started the New Age punk revolution. Get bands like AFI and Powerman 5000, and you know.
I'm sorry, but AFI is not a punk band.
They qualify as punk now.
I know. So, but then again, so does Offspring.
Yeah, but not then. In the '90s they didn't. They do today, but they didn't in the '90s, which was my point. Now all the stuff that Dexter Holland does from Offspring is pretty much punk stuff, because he does stuff with like AFI and the Vandals and whatnot. So
Vandals are hilarious. I don't know if I would consider them actual punk, but they're freaking hilarious.
Well, that's what I felt about Powerman 5000 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really consider. Oh, that ska punk stuff, I guess, whatever you want to call it?
No. Powerman 5000 actually is not punk. They actually are more akin to, even though they don't sound as heavy, they're actually more akin to Rob Zombie stuff. The idea is not so much the style of music as whatever the style matching whatever the imagery is. Where Rob Zombie would be like cheesy B-rated horror music. Powerman 5000 was originally intended as cheesy B-rated sci-fi music.
I would actually consider like '90s Offspring more like gangster rock.
Gangster
you know.
rock.
Well, think about the albums that they put out in the '90s, and that's really what that was. You know, it would be, you know, it would be what I would consider to be like a gangster rock style. I know that sounds funny to go together, but also
If it helps, the idea of gangster rock isn't what I find hilarious. The idea of Offspring as gangster rock is what I find hilarious.
well, that would be the equivalent to.
Actually, I would consider them rough teen rock.
No, they usually
because
talk
it
about
wasn't.
shooting motherfuckers, stuff like that. To me, that's street gangs. You know what I'm saying?
No, because they
for
weren't
sure.
talking about it like, hey, I'm in the lifestyle. They were talking about it like, hey, man, this is the kind of stuff that goes on all around you all the time. Like I said, they were talking about growing up hard, but not growing up hardcore, literally as in life around you is hard. You people don't even recognize it. Like I said, that's why I said it'd be more like rough teen, like, you know, bad neighborhood music, but not being in gang music.
I don't know. A lot of their songs was pretty much pitched from a first person point of view. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but a lot of them are. You know. But yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't qualify them as punk in the '90s. Later on, they damn sure went that way.
Yeah, but the problem is,
you know,
the problem is like something like you know how like in movies and comic books they call retconning, which means they go back and they change the continuity based on whatever they want the new story to be. The problem is they are retconned as punk. Because at the time, you're right. The fact was there was not a big punk thing. You only had one modern punk band at the time, unless they sounded like old '80s punk. I mean, yeah, if you're still listening to Black Flag, that was still punk. If you were, who was it that was? Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the.
Sexual Distortion?
No, although they actually could kind of fit in that category. They weren't exactly punk, but they could kind of fit in that category. Green Day, obviously, they were trying to bring back the garage band mentality, which is really what it was. But that's the point, is it really wasn't so much punk as garage band.
And I think that's what made up alternative music, was a collective of different. There wasn't the thing about alternative music of the '90s. I mean, it's coined alternative today, and it was even coined alternative back then. But it really didn't have any kind of, you know.
Right.
Look at the jump from Nirvana to Pearl Jam, who were definitely damn sure in the same exact category.
Both considered grunge, actually.
Right, both considered like a grunge rock band. But I wouldn't consider Pearl Jam to actually be all that grunge. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, actually, even more so, like you said yourself. Compared to the fact that Offspring was in the alternative category, Nirvana was in the alternative category, Weezer was in the alternative category, Pennywise.
At one point, though, they put Smashing Pumpkins into the punk.
Exactly.
And I think that's where they stick people when they don't know where to stick them.
No, I think it's, like I said, I think it's when they have that do-it-yourself mentality of music as opposed to formulaic.
Just for the record, Sony BMG, we know that you own all Offspring stuff. We're not playing any of the music, so just fuck off.
And even if we did, we would just play for our fans in Russia, apparently.
Yeah. And we have those.
Wait, we have fans in Russia? What the fuck?
Actually, we do.
We do.
Actually, we do. Mainly because we get played over there and we don't get played over here.
Pretty much. when they shut down one of our musical debates or something like that,
yeah, say from YouTube, I got 2 messages in Russian the day after musical debate 8 was up. So
does that mean me and Hughes are gonna have to go over to fucking Russia to perform?
Hey, it is a possibility. There actually is that kind of a possibility because of there's a guy over from, I can't remember. He'd hit me up back in December and I didn't realize it. He wanted me to listen to his music. He's over from Ukraine, Russia, one of those places. He does a death metal band, and I don't know why me, but apparently he thought it was important to seek me out specifically and have me listen to his band. So I don't know what's going to come of that, but he's actually on my friends list now.
I actually have a couple Russian people on my friends list on Facebook, because I went to, or we had a foreign exchange student when I went to school. He was from Russia, and he played guitar, and he covered pretty much he could cover any Metallica song up from like the 80s when they started up till like the 90s till it started sucking, and he was fucking amazing.
I got a perspective from one of my friends that lives in Sarajevo, and for any of you geographically inept people, that's you know where Bosnia is. Anyway, Mike, you know where Bosnia is at, right?
Approximately, yeah.
All right. Anyway, she's from Sarajevo, and she's the way she explained it to me was that it is more important to get on a rinky-dink show in America than it is to be prime time in another country.
Yep.
As far as your career is concerned, you know it could be something small and it's a big deal over there versus over there, like I said, you can be the cream of the crop and you still don't matter to the musical world until you make it to the music in America. If you're starting to get listened to in America, then you've really got clout, which is a higher standard because like you guys, you're already in America. If people that listen to your stuff is from America, Mac, Huge, both of y'all, your fans are Americans for the most part, so you already have that, and they're struggling just to get that. If they can grab 5 fans from America, they're more excited than if they grab 100 fans from Russia or Ukraine or That's the way she explained it to me, which was interesting.
Yeah, well, in a way that makes sense. You figure the billboards, there's basically 3 billboards that are worth being on. USA top, UK top, and then the general European top. That's pretty much the major billboards. I mean,
Sure.
don't get me wrong, to a lesser degree,
Everybody's
Japan.
like, fuck Japan.
I was like, well, Japan actually has a decent one for people just getting started. Because when they love something, they love it with a ridiculous amount of, I mean, just like a dedication.
They're great for making money because they buy anything. If their fans are so freaking fanatical about stuff that they'll buy Mac Hatchet grills.
Perfect example. All right, everyone here remember Ken Shamrock?
Yep.
Okay. Not while he was one of my favorite fighters, he was by no means one of the greatest fighters that got commercial time over here. Am I correct on that? Like he's no joke. No, he didn't get
not until he went to wrestling.
Now, over there they had action figures, not UFC action figures, Ken Shamrock action figures, a Ken Shamrock comic book, a Ken Shamrock video game, Ken Shamrock plushie, Ken Shamrock T-shirts. That was Ken Shamrock.
Video game.
Yeah, so they're pretty fanatical fans. Japan really takes fanatical. You know, like the way they saw the Beatles craze of the '60s, and you see them chasing the Beatles down the road. It's still like that for celebrities in Japan. But you don't have to be the good guy. That's the interesting thing. Like fighters, you can be the bad guy and have that kind of fan base.
Oh yeah, because if you look at the New Japan or All Japan Pro Wrestling over there, or wrestling in general over there, they are uberly crazy. Like, it's weird. They're uberly fucking crazy about wrestling over there, but they're so respectful during the matches. It's so weird because over here, any of the matches, any good high spots gets an amazing pop, or if it's look at WWE events, it's fucking loud throughout the whole show.
Yeah, over there it's actually quiet. Over there especially on the which one was it, on the New Japan Pro? They actually still use a lot of the old style gimmicks, which is kind of interesting. They still get a lot of respect for the wrestlers that do the old style gimmicks. They do a little bit more grapple, what would be considered legitimate grappling, even though it's still fixed matches. But they also their fans are quiet until the move is done. Then they give their claps, and then they're quiet again, waiting for the next move to be done.
I actually feel bad for Japan.
When a big pop or a big using wrestling terminology from over here, a big spot happens, they go fucking nuts, and then they quiet right back down. It's like, what the fuck? Over here, the motherfuckers will be chanting "holy shit" for 20 minutes after a goddamn spot.
It's like
there isn't a lot of American mainstream bands though. The way there's even like Rammstein, they're big in Germany and big in America. But you don't see that with too many Japanese fans. Obviously, the British have definitely made their mark over here.
I can think of
with many bands coming from Britain, but
3 or 4.
There's not that. Which ones were you going to say?
Well, Vivid has gotten really popular over here. That's actually why they were lucky to get them at the Orlando Nerd Fest. I mean, I know that sounds funny because you would think so what, because it's like the nerdcore bands are like low level compared to mainstream, but they're actually really huge over in Japan, and they've gotten a lot bigger over here, which is actually why they thought they were lucky to get them, and they were probably the highest paid band on the thing. That's where most of the money went to, was getting them, because they got a bunch of people that wouldn't even have come if it had not been for them being on there.
Now, do they sing in English or do they sing in Japanese?
Japanese.
Awesome, because that was an approach
Duran Gray. Duran Gray is another one. They actually got it big over here after doing something really small, and I give them a lot of credit for that. Even though I'm not a big fan of the style, they ended up on like the metal band, or on the metal radio stations, and on the metal MTV whatever the one they had for a while was, MTV2 or whatever, on the metal Headbangers Ball. They were on there. Duran Gray, and they made it big over here off of one simple thing that they did. They were the ones who did the theme song for the American version of Baki the Grappler.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, Child Prey, that's theirs. And that was actually enough to kind of launch them over here, because they were already huge over in Japan, that launched them over here as well. And they got big enough to be supported just by their music, not just being the guys who did the anime cover.
Alright. The ironic thing is, which I found out something I didn't know. I knew they were for, the band Scorpions, right?
Yeah.
80s band.
Yeah.
everybody was like, oh, you know, they're from Russia, which I knew they weren't. I knew they were from Germany, but I thought they were from East Germany, you know, basically Russia owned Germany.
Right.
You know, this is the pre-'80s, this is before the fall of the Berlin Wall. Well, apparently they're from West Germany, which is weird because they do sing with a Russian accent, and they do sing about Russian things. You know, Gorky Park is in Russia, and that's one of the things they sing about. You know,
well, they might be Russian born or something.
Yeah, I would say because let's not forget that while
I don't know, that was a big division. You know, that Berlin Wall really meant something, and you were on one side or the other. And if you were from one side, not the other, you usually didn't survive very long, you know.
No, that's not completely true. Going from east to west was easier than going from west to east.
Yeah, but they were on the west side. They started on the west side. That's my point. They were born in.
No. What he's saying is it's possible maybe their parents were East German or even Russian into East Germany, and then they moved to West, and that's where they got started, was in the West, where they had a little more freedom and stuff. And that wasn't as uncommon as going west.
The things they sung about, they didn't really. You wouldn't think so, but maybe, you know, like you know, they sung like they actually supported Russia, which you wouldn't have done if you had jumped the wall.
I got you. Well, I guess that depends.
Most of them denounced them, and a lot of Russians denounced their Russian heritage altogether when they made that leap. No pun intended on the leap,
but it's also possible that with them moving to the West, you know how kids are when it comes to reactionary, like doing things that their parents get pissed off about. I could actually see that being a possibility.
You think rebelling? In the 80s, certainly, too, because that was an age of rebellion. Even more so, like, to me, the 90s, everybody was, like, such rebels, and I was like, not really. The 80s guys, they really got it right when it was like that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it was always believed that they were Russian because they sing with a Russian style accent. But like I said, I always thought it was you know, a lot of people didn't realize it, you know, till the fall of the Berlin Wall and the breakdown of, you know, Russia of the USSR, that, you know, that was essentially Russia, even though it was Germany. Anyway, but my point being, they sung in English regardless when their albums were produced in English. So it was really bold for somebody like Rammstein to come over here and sing in German and still make hits.
What are you talking about?
Nina, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I say Nina did it.
You know, the last Japanese one I think was Sukiyaki. You know what I'm saying?
You know, you guys, other people, y'all can say something so that way we actually get some feedback.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about Scorpion? What do y'all think about the controversy over the cover of their album Virgin Killer?
Yeah, see,
What's that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Virgin Killer, basically, they had an album back in '76. It got a lot of notoriety because it showed a prepubescent girl naked on the cover of it. And the album was called Virgin Killer, and it got a lot of people upset. But of course, at the time, it wasn't illegal. It just pissed people off, is all it did. And but at the same time, funny enough, the album actually had nothing to do with anything with young girls. The purpose of the song, actually, Virgin Killer, was that basically time is the Virgin Killer. Time takes away all your innocence, it takes away your youth, it takes away all the things that you love when you're little. But they wanted a really shocking album cover. Not them, the company wanted a really shocking album cover. So they actually, the project manager of RCA Records, Stefan Bole, I didn't know his name, I had to look that up, was the one who came up with the idea.
Is Mac still there? Mac, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, your picture went off. That's why. Okay, no, it's fine. I just didn't know if you're about ready to drop off by mistake. Okay.
No, I'm trying to get my phone on charge. Here.
We have to give kudos to one genre of Japanese culture, and that is martial arts movies. Golden Harvest owns it with
that's Chinese
movies and
that's Chinese.
Sorry, Chinese. But they really took the market in a way. You know, they
always remember that's the triads. That's the triads, not the Yakuza.
But sorry, you're right. It was Japanese. But my point was even Asian culture, like, because they don't get big over here, but that did get big over here. Golden Harvest Films was.
Jackie Chan, all their stuff.
Right, Jackie Chan, all the greats started with Golden Harvest Films. And even for a long, long while, I don't know what kind of contract they have, but they must have some brutal ass contracts because they're like 30 years of movies.
Actually, they do. You
Enter
actually
the Dragon was about one of the few films that did not have that Golden Harvest logo or one of the subsidiaries on it.
put it this way: Golden Harvest was run by the Chow brothers, who had ties to the Triad. And
Sure.
I remember that Jackie Chan was talking about what it was like working for them, and he said that some things about it were good. He said, but basically, you pretty much had to buy your freedom out of it, just like the mafia, you know, or like we were talking about the Russian mob before. You actually have to kind of, you know, it's very stringent. It's very serious over there. It's not like over here where you just get a lawyer if you want to get out of your contract. It doesn't work that way.
Right, they might break some legs and they'll possibly kill you.
Yes, exactly.
Remember that, Mac. That's the way we do business.
Right.
Yo, just remember, I always got a fucking hatchet on me, so try it.
Hatchet,
I
let's
ain't
hear.
afraid to swing.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Barely.
Hey, did Tony?
See, what we'll do is we're cool.
Hold on. The problem is, Ty keeps cutting out whenever anyone else talks. So when Matt just talked, Ty actually was in the middle of saying something, but it cut him out.
Oh, does Tony Jaa go through them?
No, Tony
that's-
Tony Jaa is Ty.
Yeah.
And he is with a different company. I can't remember. Which the Golden Harvest doesn't work like they used to.
they're
It's
big
not
time
like
now.
that anymore, man. But
They
back
did
in
the
the
Ninja
day,
Turtles movie and stuff. And
yes, it did.
I'm sure Corey Feldman wasn't under any kind of contract like that, you know.
No, like Ong Bak and all that was actually through a different company because that's a top.
We're talking like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. This is,
Yeah.
you know, really Chuck Norris and Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee's day.
Oh, although I did not know that about Tony Jaa. That's good to know. He actually became a Buddhist monk in 2010.
Do they have him there, like, or did he just adapt it like the Beatles did?
No, Sur in Thailand. He actually went to a Buddhist temple in Sur in Thailand.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Because a lot of times, you know,
Yeah.
once they become popular, you know, the Beatles went over there and did Hindi, and then they did Buddhism.
That's what I was saying. That's the weird thing. Is I thought he was Hindu. I didn't know that he was Buddhist. For some reason, I don't know why, but I always just kind of thought he was. Now I know that Ong Bak is about the Buddhas. So
I
it kind
thought
of makes
Thai
sense.
had a big Christian base or something. Maybe that was the Philippines. I can't remember.
Philippines definitely does. They had a lot of missionaries from Spain.
I'm gonna have to look up their demographics now because we're nerds, and that's I gotta know this shit.
But I know that in Ong Bak it was actually about recovering a Buddha head, and so I knew that they dealt with Buddhists. But for some reason I thought he was, well, I shouldn't say Hindu, the Thai equivalent of Hindu, earlier philosophies and beliefs. I don't know why I thought that, but I something led me to think that. But apparently he's a Buddhist because he ended up joining a Buddhist monastery. Now he ended up leaving the Buddhist monastery to do a movie, but still. And interesting enough, apparently he is actually about to do a movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Buddhism is their national official religion, so they have an
Okay.
actual nationalized official religion, which means
Okay.
they probably kill you if you're anything else.
No, probably not. But chances are that just means that.
I know
like,
when they say national language in Africa, they mean if you speak anything else, we're gonna freaking kill you.
Well, yeah,
You know
but that's
what I'm
different.
saying?
That usually is a land thing. That's usually a land thing, and in some places the religion works the same way because it's a land thing. You know, kind of like the Gaza Strip style.
I mean, I you know, during the the Holocaust or whatever, they purged Jews or whatever. But in places like Rwanda, it's like purging your next door neighbors. It would be like purging the land out of Lake Mac. You know, that's the equivalent of what they did over there in Rwanda, and it's just like, you know,
Can I purge New
That's
Yorkers
pretty much-
out of Florida?
yeah, let's purge some Canadians. We'll start with DJ Wicked. But you know, and that is a very different. You know, when they like we have an unofficial national language, which is English. Primarily, it's what's taught in schools, but it's not emboldened into our Constitution that if you speak anything else, you're put to death or anything like that. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buddhism is the national religion over there, so
Okay.
probably we'll do some ethnic cleansing.
Oh, I know what it was that made me think that there was something that made me think that he actually followed a more tribal religion than that.
What's that?
His early works, Spirited Killer trilogy. That's what it was. In there, it's about a ghost that comes back from like one of the deceased ancestors thing, and it kind of led me to think that way is what it was. That's by the way, if you all don't know, Spirited Killer was actually his first movie. It's not in English. I think they did a dub of one of the three, and the other two are just subtitled. They're actually a pretty good movie. Well, let me try. Two of them were good movies. If I remember correctly, one of them sucked. I don't remember which one it was, but one of them sucked.
Apparently, Thailand has a king, or whatever they call it, but it's equivalent to a king or emperor or whatever you want. I didn't realize that they were
most likely an emperor.
Let's say. Well, I'd say actually.
Well, emperor is actually a Japanese word.
No, actually, no. It makes sense. Let's not forget King of Siam.
Right. Well, he was talking. There's a difference, kind of a slight difference. Emperor is more like a god on earth than a king. King is just a
actually, emperor usually is during some kind of period in which there's expansion. Specifically, even taking out the religious connotation that we assume with like the Caesars and stuff like that. Emperors usually, as the name implies, rule over an empire, which is a collection of lands as opposed to a solo.
Right, but it's usually a divine right versus king that is
actually
birthright, but not a divine right.
Actually, no. Originally, king was a divine right as well.
Only King Solomon.
No. As in the English kings believed in divine right. Early on, before the which one was the one they did the treaty that they did, the first one.
No, if you're talking about like the Norman invasion and all that, yeah.
Well, technically, I'm talking about.
But they didn't believe in a god, though. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm talking about literal Middle Ages, 500 A.D. Time of the Crusades.
Oh, like Alfred the Great and stuff like that. Yeah, right. They did. The modern monarch that's there today isn't the monarch. They're not.
Right. Yeah. Actually, 1066, Norman the Conqueror started what is now considered the modern British monarchy. Although most of them actually aren't even related to him either.
Yeah, they're closer related to Germany than they are to the English government.
Right. Yeah. Because there was a lot of trade-offs throughout the years with Germany, who was a strong ally of theirs early on.
The last English king, Godwin or whatever, they actually did a lineage test, and because he's they found the true heir to the throne, which is his descendant. And but what I didn't know was that prior to the Norman invasion, kings were actually elected. They were elected for
you got to remember,
it
was Anglo-Saxon tribal.
Right. You were granted a kingship, I guess, is the way.
Right. Yeah. Actually, granted is better.
But
than
once you had it, you retained it forever until you died,
right.
And then they granted a new king. Versus the way the Normans passed it through bloodline. Which
right.
Makes sense. The Normans were big onto the whole they were big on family is everything type religions. So anyway, that was so far off track. Let's get back on track. But Mike, do you have any of those bands that you would like to mention that?
Actually, I'm gonna name. Actually, I'm gonna name one that did kind of the opposite. What started out as a gimmick that should have really quickly fell off and eventually found legitimacy, and that's Weird Al Yankovic.
True. But he went the opposite route.
Right. During the 80s, obviously, you could tell he was short-lived because while you loved his songs, they were basically, because at the time, we would not really stand for parody that was raunchy or anything like that. So he had a limited framework to work in with like which is why most of his songs were about eating, because it was the one thing that everyone could understand, but it wasn't going to offend anybody. When he did Fat.
Yeah, but PC culture today, he couldn't have built his career on being fat. Ricky Lake would be up there storming the fucking...
No, but better yet, though, but the fact that we'll accept so much outside the norm before we start getting upset means that he was able to do songs like All About the Pentiums, Amish Paradise, and stuff like that. And so he actually
broke the way for that.
Vice versa.
Popularity.
Yeah, I was saying
not just music. I'm talking about TV.
Okay.
Big Bang Theory is a big show today, whereas if Big Bang Theory had come out in the '90s, that show would have died as quick as it came, just like Futurama did. Futurama struggled hard at that battle of nerds.
And came back twice.
Yeah, because it's Futurama, they kick ass. But
yeah, they do. Well, they did actually. I'm glad they canceled this last time. I watched the last few seasons, and God, it was horrible.
I haven't gotten that far yet through them.
I'm telling you right now. Obviously, you're gonna watch it for completion's sake. I get that. Don't stress not having seen it because there's only
moving up on the timetable. I get it.
Yeah, there's only like 3 or 4 good episodes on the last 2 seasons.
Probably because of PC Society. They usually run everything.
Nope. Actually, it's because of them switching over to Comedy Central, which means that
competing with South Park with that.
Yeah, more lowbrow humor, a lot more liberal humor, as opposed to the stuff was kind of interesting, and usually it was multi-layered in the early shows.
Well,
there was
like,
a little bit of lowbrow, and then there was a little bit of highbrow. There's not really a whole lot of highbrow by the end of it, and it became very political.
Well, like in 1997, Bender was very cutting edge.
Yes.
This is pre-South Park, pretty much pre.
Well, he's a robot from 30,000.
The hardest thing they had was The Simpsons. But now you got stuff like Archer and Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and
that's the thing. I think. What's that, Ty?
Was that huge?
Archer is hilarious.
Well, right, but
I love Archer. We're just talking about what it had to compete with then was The Simpsons.
Right.
What it has to compete with now is South Park, Archer.
And more so being on the station that broadcasts that, it's like if we were a gospel station and and someone came on that was hardcore for the gospel station, it's not the same as going on to a death metal station and being hardcore for the death metal station. And that's the problem is that before they were on a regular TV,
Fox,
Fox network, they were a little more middle of the road. And they didn't like to get too bad off, and that showed. There was always kind of a class to it, which is sad because Fox was never a classy station.
Yes, but Fox did convert to almost a conservative style of thinking. For Fox News and.
Well, I think that the idea was they didn't want to piss a bunch of people off just because it was funny, but Comedy Central, theirs is real pop. They want to make sure that everyone knows everything that's going on in the form of cartoon, and they want to make sure that everything is the raunchiest thing you've ever heard or the most ridiculous thing you ever heard, and that really took a toll on the later seasons. But back to the... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say back to point.
Yeah, I'd say. Weird Al, though, because of the fact that his 80s works, while they were good, obviously no one was really listening to polka, except me, and so therefore no one really listened to his polka stuff like Polka on 45, which is awesome. But the fact that everyone's kind of opened up and widened their genres, and the fact that everyone is willing to handle a little more before they decide something sucks, means that it gave him a chance to expand what his subject matter was. Like when he did Trapped in the Drive-Thru. All right, he probably wouldn't have touched that back in the 80s. Now, even though the song itself is cutesy and stuff, the song it was based on would have been way too like, whoa, I'm not gonna touch that,
and that kind of, but that's what's fun about Paving the Way is, he's pretty much a mockumentary type of artist until stuff like R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet came out. He really couldn't do that as a. The only ones that he does like that was like The Saga Begins and stuff like that, where he's mocking Star Wars or something of that nature.
Right, or right, yeah.
Loves, but still is very nerd.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. But luckily, thankfully, he actually was able to turn that around because his career could have been in the toilet really quick. You know what I'm saying? It really could have. It could have been in the toilet really quick if he hadn't adapted and saw the opportunity to adapt in that.
Do you got any bands you want to talk about like that, Huge? We'd like to hear more from you. Hey, Huge.
Yeah, can you hear me?
You there? Barely.
Can you hear me now?
A little, but you sound like you're in the shower. Now, if you're in the shower, we understand.
I don't.
No, you can't pick Mac Hatchet as the band that rise and fall really quickly.
Oh, that's harsh.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow.
Jabbing at you there, Mac. You being quiet.
Fuck you, Jack. Cut you with this little pocket knife.
Okay. Right, keep that in mind for everybody who thinks about joining an NBT, that apparently we don't even respect our own artists. Good job, Josh.
I don't want them thinking they get respect. They don't expect that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Just remember, if you're out there and you want to join NBT, Josh has the bigger dick than Mike.
Thank you.
I'm also a better salesman than Mike, too.
Oh, shit. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright. I was saying, I think Fall Out Boy is one of the bands that started out really good, and now they're slowly starting to fall off. Gradually, actually.
Well, then that's not quite it, if that's the case, because they were around for a while. Can you think of someone who you've seen that basically more or less just like threw out a few good things and just plummeted?
Yeah, we're kind of like Eminem. I mean, like kind of like Vanilla Ice digging in the trash. You know, we want that kind of good.
To be honest with you, I really don't know. I don't really follow bands like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Hughes is so great that he knows for a fact every band he picks is a winner. That's all there is to it.
That's what it is. Too.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, he waits until the band's put out at least 3 good albums before he even likes them.
Well, then they're just a waste of his time if they can't put out 3 gold records.
So, all right, what about you, Mac?
He already gave us one earlier.
Oh, okay. Sorry, obviously.
You weren't on here. You were busy not making money and losing viewers.
According to you, every time I'm silent, I'm winning this viewership.
We'll see. We'll see how many people viewed that section of the show more than the rest. Okay. Now, you got that song queued up? Because we're going to play that song, Breakfast at Shoney's by... is he going by Fat Eating Nasty or just his regular name on that one?
On that, it's just Wesley.
Wesley? All right, Wesley Woody.
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me cue it up here because I got to grab it.
Don't listen to this.
Okay. All right.
I asked Will, hey Will, grab me ham sauce. Doesn't he dump almost a full fucking bucket of kale sauce in the water?
He's like,
Anytime
the
now.
one that I just fucking made. The one that I just fucking made.
He's been in there running.
Here we go. Turn it up, Mike. It's too low.
Fucking hilarious. Mine's a hell of a lot easier. No.
Our nation is Jesus, our kids are too obese. Overeating's got to cease. And I say I just don't care.
Hey, you want? You kind of hold that so you can run and give me a cigarette.
And I said, what about breakfast at Shoney's? She said, I think I remember that meal. Yes, I recall I had biscuits and gravy and a plate of salty bacon. I see some looking sick and anorexic. I can sing or I could text it. Big is better. So why not just have another plateful? I don't mean to be hateful, but skinny people suck. And I said, what about breakfast at Shoney's? She said, I think I remember that meal. Yes, I recall I had pancakes and waffles and a big bowl of buttery grits. The chances for U.S. is unhealthy. From a poor to a wealthy, our nation situation is that she says our kids are too obese, overheating's got disease, and I say I just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Shoney's? She said, I think I remember the meal. Yes, I recall I had omelets and sausage and a cement bun for dessert. Now, I sang this song for you. I hope you enjoyed the song. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you had a lot of fun listening to it. However, I do realize that more likely than not, I probably offended a lot of people with that song. So let me just take this moment to apologize to those people. First of all, to any real musicians, I'm sorry about how poor the guitar playing was, and I apologize for how bad the singing was. Again, this isn't my profession. I was just doing it for fun and trying to make y'all laugh. Secondly, to any skinny people who might have heard this, some of my best friends are skinny. I said, hey, mind if I say skinny people suck? They said no. So it was in the song. People with anorexia. Yeah, I'm sorry, it might be a little offensive to say something about you, but one of my anorexic friends said it was okay, so I left it in there. Now, people of size, fat people, you know, everyone has made fun of us all of our lives. What I say is, it's time we take it back for ourselves. If you call yourself fat before someone else calls you fat, then you take their power from them. Now, Shoney's, I love you. I love Shoney's. I love breakfast at Shoney's. I hope that my song didn't offend Shoney's and will get me kicked out of Shoney's because I really like to go to eat at Shoney's again. Lastly, Miss Michelle Obama. I want to say it is truly, truly awesome that you want to dictate what we should and shouldn't eat. You know, make us healthier. I mean, now, you know, when I go to McDonald's, I can order 2 large drinks instead of 1 supersized drink, and that's great for me. But, you know, I just want you to know that I love what you're doing. I'm not offended. I hope you're not offended. And if you're ever in the Central Virginia area, I'd love to take you out for breakfast at Shoney's.
How'd y'all think of that?
The fuck?
Yeah, I was saying, unfortunately I couldn't hear it, so I couldn't tell. You guys need to learn how to mute y'all's thing. I was telling Josh to mute y'all, but I'm guessing he doesn't know the controls well enough to do that or something.
I'm on my damn phone. I can't fucking mute.
Oh shit! I couldn't hear you at all, man.
What the hell are you talking about? Say, your phone has a mute button on it usually, like a direct actual mute button, like when you're on your talk thing.
Bro, I don't fucking know.
So anyway, that was Wesley Woody with Breakfast at Shoney's. And since we were talking about Weird Al, I figured it was a good time to bring that up.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of cover stuff that, you know, Weird Al would have done back in the day. Food is a safe thing to sing about, a rap or talk about. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's very weak. You know, if you listen to his newer stuff, obviously his new stuff is a lot stronger, and so, like I said, it's really easy to see where he could have completely fallen by the wayside had he not known exactly when to make that transition. Even if he just hung on a little too long, it would have made a world of difference, and he would have fallen off.
I think Rucka Ali gets inspired by Weird Al and the shit he does.
I don't know who that is, actually.
Rucka Ali?
Yeah.
Fucking look him up, Jesus Christ. He's from Detroit.
That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't even like Detroit.
He pretty much does the same thing Weird Al does, except he'll do it with like all the newer songs like he did. He really pushes the boundaries of racism and everything.
Well, I don't know if pushing the boundary of racism is such a good idea. I mean, I'm all about good art, But I guess it depends on the goal too. You know what I'm saying? If your goal is just to push the boundaries of racism, I don't know if that's a good enough reason to.
Well, it depends from song to song. I mean, there's songs where he definitely pushes the boundaries on racism. I'm not saying that I like those songs, but it's something I listen to when I need a good laugh.
No, but I will give him credit for one thing though. Apparently, there was in 2010 there was 3 British students who were suspended from school when a Korean child was offended because they showed him one of Rucka's videos called "I'm a Korean." The school headmaster, this is his quote, said the song was probably racist.
Probably, for sure.
Probably racist, right? In other words, we don't want to get sued, but at the same time, we're not going to bother finding out. But Rucka actually used that as the title for his next album. Probably racist.
I don't know. I think there's always going to be some sort of I guess that's worse than racism. I mean, blatant racism is blatant racism. If you come up with your white hood, I know what you're standing for. But when you get overly offended by what appears or could possibly be racism, those are the lines that I hate so much. It's like, really, you're gonna get mad about that? All right, like he just talked about Michelle Obama. Now, it had nothing to do with her color. It had to do with her attacking his food, which he loves so much. You know what I'm saying, in the song, and that's why it was added there. But I seen some people when the song first got posted claiming, a type of racism there. It was like, it had nothing to do with racism. It had to do with food. He loves Shoney's. He loves food. And, the guy's like 350, 400 pounds. He loves his food, and he's trying to show it.
I love my food too.
Well, that's the point. Is there are people who misconstrue when something's racist just because it says something, and like for example in this case, Michelle Obama is a public figure and she's black, but it has nothing to do with her being black. It literally has to do with the fact that she wants kids to eat ridiculous crap food instead of delicious food.
I like a lot of black people, but I hate Reverend Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I hate all black people. I hate them because, one, they talk too much. And that's my job, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. I was like, Josh hates people who talk too much. Talk about the pot calling the kettle something other than black.
Oh, if I say black, it's the wrong word. But no. But no, and that is you can just, and that's the first thing, and that's the number one thing that really bothers me today is anytime something is said about, a black iconic person. I actually said something about Martin Luther King that people got upset with was that he was only iconic because he died. He would become martyred. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't nearly be as iconic if he had lived. And that was apparently a racist thing to say, regardless of the merit of the conversation. And that's not just about race, that's anybody.
Which is funny because that is not racist in the least. I disagree with your assessment, but
I don't think he would.
I don't think he'd be the martyr, as you said. But I think he'd still be a very influential and iconic figure.
It's the way about Kennedy. Kennedy didn't get time. He didn't get 8 years as president to screw anything up. He got 3 years, and that was it. So he's iconic as a great president. He did a couple good things, and then bang, his career was over. No pun intended with the bang. But, it was over, and then that was it. But had he ran 8 years, he might have botched some things along the way, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get one full term. And I think that matters, you know what I'm saying, to why his legacy. No room for criticism, and most people won't criticize somebody once they're dead. Even if they were worth criticizing.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is, everyone's worth criticizing. Even the dead, but I get the sentiment behind there's not much point in criticizing the dead. It's too late at that point.
It is if it's put in place policies that change, and in politics you do. You know what I'm saying?
No, you just wait for the
there's
next
no point in bad-mouthing John Lennon, regardless of whether you like or hate his music. But
what you talking about? Actually, I badmouth him all the time.
That's all right. I'll forgive you. But no, and then there's people that never get criticized, like Ozzy. His criticisms are minimal despite his all the things he's done.
His ridiculous behavior.
Right. Like the 1,000-pound M&Ms or the bat thing or whatever. It's like, okay, he did it. We all forgive him, and it's okay. You know, nobody's allowed to badmouth him about pissing on the Alamo no more. I don't hear people complain about that anymore. They've just stopped. Even the same ones that complained back then.
Well, I mean, admittedly, it gets boring after a while, and they're celebrities, so you don't actually believe the real people, do you?
But presidents are either famous like Abe Lincoln or they're infamous. I mean, you know, they're never. There's never no middle ground, you know, except for Jimmy Carter. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That guy did nothing.
What are you talking about?
Good or bad.
No, Jimmy Carter did a couple great things during his time on this earth. Number one, he was attacked by a giant swamp rabbit. That wins automatically.
Swamp rabbit?
Yes, he got attacked by a giant swamp rabbit. It actually literally attacked him. That is super awesome. Number two.
The fuck is a swamp rabbit?
Exactly what it sounds like. Say, hold on. Let me see if I can find the thing about that. Hold on. The other thing was he claims that he was actually abducted by aliens.
He claims that, or?
So here you go. Check this out. They actually have pictures. Apparently, I didn't even know that. It says the Jimmy Carter rabbit incident, dubbed the killer rabbit attacked by the media, involved a swamp rabbit that swam towards then President Jimmy Carter's fishing boat. And say Carter had gone solo fishing expedition in his hometown of Plains, Georgia. According to the former president, a rabbit was being chased by hounds, jumped in the water, and swam toward my boat. When he got there, I splashed some water with a paddle. Upon returning, that Carter said did not believe his story, insisting rabbits couldn't swim and they couldn't approach a person in a threatening manner. But apparently, the incident was captured on footage taken by a White House photographer.
Help me!
What the
Okay,
fuck?
so I've established that it's better to be vice president than president. Because you can make the biggest blunders in the world, nobody cares. As vice
Shoot a guy in the neck?
Shoot him in the neck, or misspell potato at a World International Spelling Bee, or
Hey,
whatever.
actually, you know what's funny? You know, I actually defend Dan Quayle on that one because they always point that out. He's so stupid. He didn't know how to spell potato. The reason he argued with them is because they misspelled potato. It was a spelling bee, and at the spelling bee, each of the people who are in the crowd are given a pamphlet of all the words to spell so they can follow along. In the guide that the spelling bee prepared, they misspelled potato. So when the kid spelled it without the E, he got upset, and he was pointing out, no, right here, you wrote potato with an E at the end. And so he got mad because they didn't spell it the way it was supposed to. He was calling them on the fact that basically they screwed up. Now, of course, he thought they screwed up and there was maybe a variation of the word potato, which they do sometimes. But he wasn't so dumb that he just got mad over the word potato. He was got mad because, according to that book, that's how you're supposed to spell it, and that kid did not spell it that way.
Well, Bill Clinton got the greatest scandal of all, and this is why. He got the greatest scandal of all because he either got a blowjob. I mean, if there's something to go down for in infamy, get a blowjob in the White House is certainly the one that I want to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you gotta look at it. You also got to look at it from the other end of the spectrum here. All right, is that really, if you were Monica Lewinsky, is that what you would want him to go down for?
No, but there's upside down. But I'm talking about the president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
She got famous because of the shot in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's got a good enough pickle on. Suck my dick, I'll make you famous. You know. But
man, I'm gonna start using that one. I wonder if that'll ever work.
You can try it. Now,
hey, huge. No.
What? He's gonna suck your dick?
I'm gonna make him famous.
Oh. See, now, that's why, instead of a record label, maybe we should have done a porn industry, because that line would work better.
There you go.
We shouldn't have opened up a record label. We should have opened up
Well, I thought that was our new plan. I thought that was our new plan, is each of our guys are going to have a hype man who's also a porn star. Remember, that was the deal.
Yeah, where's your brother at? We'd rather talk to him today.
That's right.
He'll pick up a hooker.
I actually have a bunch of stuff, because like I told y'all before, I've actually contemplated making a porn company. Just a very niche porn company, but a porn company nonetheless.
Booty with the
You know
stars.
what's fucked up is every time we driving down the road now, we see somebody on the side of the road. He goes, "Hey, maybe we should stop and ask them if they're a hooker."
We started a trend.
Exactly. It'd be like that knockout game. Only instead it's going to run up and rush a hooker.
We call it the knockout game.
The knockout game, yeah. Rush a hooker.
So we can't do that with Huge because I'm pretty sure Lisa will kill me. Hey, can we get you to do that, Huge? Are you willing to drive down the road and pick up a hooker?
No, Lisa would probably
We
kill
will pay
both
for
of
the
us.
hooker and the bail.
Lisa
We
would
offer
kill
to-
both of us.
Pick her up a
Both of us.
hooker then.
Pick her up one. That'll work.
Yeah. Like, hey, you know, I met a friend that way. We were in a parking lot. It was me, Josh, my wife, and a couple friends, and we were walking down. These two girls drive around, and they were trying to find a place. And so they stopped and asked us, and I'm like, I don't know where it's at. So they're driving over, and there's a Waffle House right up the road. They started to go there. I was like, hey. And they stopped, and the girl's like, yeah. And I was like, my wife wants your phone number.
I've been working a little bit on your phone number.
Work?
Actually, that girl used to come over and hang out all the time. That was Marianne Smith. I don't know if you remember her.
Did you guys ever get any booty from her?
Say,
Put it out
she had. It's kind of hard to explain because she had this weird thing where she would
Gonorrhea.
go.
It's not that weird. It's pretty common.
No, she would go part of the way, but there was specific things, very specific things that were off limits.
What? She got part of the way, like half a blow job, or
No, as in like you could.
quarters of a hand job, or would only use 2 fingers when doing the hand job.
No. Just like she, I guess she was trying to save herself or whatever, and so like for example, all kinds of fooling around and stuff was fine until it came to the panties coming off. Stuff through the panties was
She got
fine.
a dick. You ever heard she might have a dick? Because that happens sometimes. I've been in San Francisco and that happens sometimes.
Yeah, but I hate to tell you this: the panties that she was wearing, you would have been able to see if she was, and she wasn't. Because like I said, fooling with her through them was fine. It was just.
That's assuming she has a big dick. She might have a small dick that you didn't notice.
But the whole point was you could do stuff through them. Just I guess the idea was you could not end up having sex with her if you could not take them off. So she did
I'll
not.
just jam her whole fucking panties in there until there's a big hole in the bitches.
Well, you would have to go that deep, so that makes sense that it worked for you.
Ooh. Don't start a war tonight. Don't start something you can't finish. There's only 20 minutes left in the show, and I don't want to have to blast you for an hour. This thing will be off air, and I'll still be blasting you.
But no, like I said,
we do that anyway.
no, like I said though, she actually had this really weird rule like that though. But she was a really cool chick, and she was cool with doing stuff. Just like I said, she had a very specific thing about what was on the table and what wasn't on the table. And it was kind of
All right, Huge. What is your best laid plans? Your best plan to ever get laid that you concocted?
I mean,
Before you were famous, not now. It's easy. Like take the panties off. Okay, woo. I'm talking before you were famous, you know, because we all do. Guys, we scheme from like 13 on about how to get laid.
I used to spit old poetry. I
used to what?
I used to spit old poetry.
I gotcha.
Did it work? Did you ever get laid?
Yeah, it worked quite a few times.
All right, now Mac's a virgin, so we can't ask him this question. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what the fuck ever.
That's funny
what was your best laid plans?
I almost believed that at first. I thought maybe he was just saying something like, well, I was like, really? As a Mac, I didn't know that about you.
Oh shit, that's so gonna. You'll see that shit on Wikipedia tomorrow. Mac Hatchet is a virgin. Like, oh shit. Okay, but no, Mac. What is your best?
Actually,
best thing?
Some girls like
the best thing I've ever done to get laid was actually when I played semi-pro football. I just have to have all my football shit laid out when I brought the girl home. Usually worked.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Using props. He's gonna use props over here. That'll work. Like acting set.
Straight up, dude. I would lay. I'd have my fucking uniform, my football helmet sitting on my couch when I brought the girl home, and she'd be like, "Oh, you play football?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just won a championship." And like almost instantly, she'd be on her knees. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Well, my best plan to get laid was roofies, but no, my best brilliant plan to get laid actually came from a friend of mine, Mike, and he's like, here's what I'm gonna do. He's like, I'm gonna take this girl in here, and she was older. He's like, I'm gonna start fucking her. And he's like, because the house was dark, there was no electric. This was just like a party house, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, He's like, I'm gonna go out, take a piss. He's like, just slide in there and go hit it. That was his plan. Good plan, but I didn't follow it through actually. But it was the best plan that was ever concocted, as far as concerned. I was like, that's interesting.
God. Me and my buddy Taylor, we were talking one day. We were sitting in his garage smoking a cigarette, and his girl was right there, and he goes, "Hey Brian, we're gonna pull the switcheroo tonight, right?" I'm like, "Oh God." And what he was talking about was he was gonna be fucking his girl with her head hanging out his bedroom window, and then we tag out, and he'd go down and be like, "Hi, babe," outside, and she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I think she's gonna notice the difference in dick size, though. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 inches difference.
And so you don't know. Maybe they measured ahead of time to make sure they were close enough match.
Wait, did y'all measure this? You'll get on there and be like, "Whip this out. We gotta make sure this fit's right."
Fuck
none of
no.
that. Okay, none of that.
Fuck
All right.
no.
All right, Fat Fan's huge. Is a
I'm
huge.
just saying.
Actually, I was gonna say it doesn't matter because I was told by a girl once that what was it? She said this old friend of mine, Laura. She was an older lady, and she knew her business. She's like, listen. She goes, once it's in, it all feels like 12 inches.
She was just being nice to you.
I never slept with her. She never actually even saw me naked. Nope, she was just commenting on the fact that guys get all worked up over and stuff, and she goes, honestly, she's like, it don't make no difference. She says, once it's in, it all feels like 12 inches.
Yes, clearly she was sparing your feelings.
No, because if she was sparing my feelings, she would have told me that the best, that she'd never has sex with guys who are smart. What it was is there was, she said that she dated a guy who was smart one time. She's like, but he was always so preoccupied. She's like, that he was actually very boring in the sack because even when he was in bed with her, basically his brain was elsewhere figuring out intense stuff, and it was just really boring.
Shoot, what are you talking about? I got an algorithm for orgasm, you know what I'm saying? Smart guys are the ones you want to fuck because they think about that shit, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to plan of attack.
Was it the song Geek Squad by former Fat Boys, and he says something like, ooh, did you like that? He's like, I just Googled, I Googled directions and followed my erection or something like that. I can't remember the words right now, the line right now, but basically it says.
That's what a girl once told me. She's like, you're so technical in the sack. I'm like, you can be technical in the sack, but apparently you can't.
I say, well, actually, I'll tell you the truth. I learned how to. Actually, I did.
Bitch.
I learned how to please a woman because when I first started, I was not very good. I actually, when I realized I sucked at it, I went out and I bought me I went down to the Deland bookstore and I bought me a book on anatomy. And I just read the chapter on female anatomy and studied it until I knew exactly where everything was at and what to do with it. It worked, though, because after that, and then all of a sudden I started getting mad compliments on it. So it obviously did the trick, but, you know, I actually learned by the book. I studied the book.
Oh, well, here's the thing about that, and that's, as far as, like, studying to fuck, you know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that should be teaching in sex ed, you know, how to give an orgasm. That should be like page 1 and shit, you know.
Nope, that should be page 3. Page 1 is don't do it unless you're willing to risk the pregnancy. Number 2 should be make sure the girl isn't with a lot of other dudes and make sure you're not with a lot of other chicks. That way you minimize risk of contamination and disease. Page 3 should be here's how you make sure that they stay faithful.
Licking 101.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you figure that if the first 2 happen, if the first 2 aren't your bag, then you're probably not ready for number 3 anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're not willing to risk the pregnancy, you don't need to have the sex. If you can't trust the person's, if you don't have reasonable assurance that the person's clean or you're not clean, don't have the sex. If you're gonna have the sex, do it right.
There was a guy, a friend of mine at work. He was like, oh man, I don't, because we were talking about it. We were going back and forth about, you know, fucking each other's old lady, just kind of like you do or whatever. I was like, I'll steal your old lady so quick, you know, smack talking back and forth. And he's like, then we got into a serious conversation. And he was like, oh man, I never eat pussy. I was like, ha, now I know I can take your old lady.
That's okay. I was with this girl. I'm not gonna say who it was or whatever, but she was talking.
Guys that eat pussy and single guys.
Nuh-uh, some of those guys just get cheated on.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. But basically, a friend of mine, she used to have a crush on him before she ended up dating me, and he's like, man, I could have your girl. I was like, dude, you couldn't handle my girl. My girl is psycho, man. She would wear you out in a second, man.
Speaking of his girl, DJ Cupcake, she does it on Sundays at what?
She's Sunday from midnight to 2, right after my show, which still doesn't have a title. I'm still working on a title.
Well, maybe we should let everybody vote on a title for you.
You know, I thought about that, and I figured that once Justin gets the stupid, once DJ Wicked gets the stupid chat system up, I thought about having a poll on there. Because that chat thing, if you can extend it to do a lot of cool
It's
stuff.
not his fault. He works Canadian hours, and they're basically like French hours. You know, he puts in like 20 hours a week and calls it a full shift. But yeah, so they have a lax sense of work, you know. I like the slave driver method, you know. We call it the Egyptian method. You know, build pyramids and shit. 19 hours a day.
You get shit done.
Shit, Huge will be at home sleeping. I'll call that motherfucker. Like, get up and record something. You know? I think he's frozen.
Maybe me and Dean should use that method on you, Josh.
Oh! You don't know my number.
Hey, you want his number?
Yeah, I do. I have your number. It's sitting in my freaking Facebook inbox. All I gotta do is go back and get the message.
But luckily for you, Josh, he's too lazy to do that.
Right now, yeah, very much.
Alright, what about you, Huge? We want to hear some stories from you. Come on. Your fans want to hear from you.
What do you want to hear?
Tell them some stories. That's how you do this.
What?
When was the last time you knifed somebody? Another Hudgens doesn't count. I'm sorry, but in my family, well, like I said, when we have parties, you know, I often hear, man, it was so rowdy they called the cops. To me, it's not even a party unless the cops got called. And so, in our family, honestly, like I said, Josh stabbed me so many damn times.
Every husband's family.
When are we gonna hear a new single from you? Come on.
I'm supposed to see, man. Like I said, I'm working on that.
You working on that thing with GIF, right?
I actually got I gotta send him the lyrics tonight after the call. Yeah, that's supposed to be a big hit.
You're gonna call him at midnight, like, bitch, get up and record these lyrics.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Huge.
I'm the highest
I've been talking about doing like.
Hold on, y'all. Mac, what was the question?
When the hell you gonna get your shit done for Ready for War for my EP?
Dad, again, it's all about recording right now, man. I got everything written. Recording's bitch right now.
Oh, hey, actually, I'm gonna do something and annoy you guys for a minute, just because, well, luckily for y'all, I can.
Oh God.
What I'm thinking?
Say, what's that? Oh no. Although we do need to do that. I had forgotten all about it. I didn't even pull that data over.
Oh,
no,
right.
I just want y'all to hear a little something real quick. And, here you go. Alright. There you go. Although I realized I cut it out before it faded, but whatever.
Nah, it's all good. No, that's sick. I like that.
That's the first track that I've started working on with my new software.
Can I call it, you like title your stuff Dick Beats?
Dick Beats? Hey.
That's
No,
funny, man.
like I said, I just kind of get used to the software and stuff, and so like I've been messing around with it, and that was actually the very first thing that I worked on with it.
That wasn't bad. I can picture myself rapping to that.
And so, well, I'm hoping to get obviously, I know I still got a ways to go to get really tight on it, but so right now I'm just focusing on basically 3 instruments. You know, just basically real simple, just one drum, one bass and one synth, and working off of that, and then just working my way from there. So like basically.
Excuse me, shit. Now, the only thing holding up Mac is Mike, so that's why we know that he doesn't have anything coming up soon, because Mike's a slacker.
Oh, listen to that.
Wait,
smack
what?
talk.
I can blame you.
Hey, me and Mike talked about this yesterday. All right, we're gonna give it a couple days.
Yep.
So on the whole situation.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which I told him, and I got a backup plan. Like I said, if we can't get the license we need for the beats he already had, he said he's going to tell that dude Leprechaun. I'm just going to shell out the cash for Leprechaun to hook him up with something. Because like I said, while I'm progressing, I don't think that I'm at the point yet to rework his stuff. So I figure, time or money, and since I obviously can't put in enough time in quickly enough, then it sounds like I'll be putting in the money.
Right.
So yeah, that's the way it goes. Like I said, which, as you can tell, though, I am progressing in my craft. Hopefully, I'll be good enough soon to be able to, like I said, I'd like to put something together for you guys to attempt rapping over, just like basically give y'all some tracks, like assign each of y'all a track or whatever,
Yeah,
and then have y'all
have to do it.
and say, well, I fear if I can make a custom track for each of you guys, and y'all can see if y'all can work with it, and then I can take the track back and rework it if there's parts that I think that will improve it based on what y'all are saying or how y'all are, sound effects, mixing, that kind of stuff. I want to see how that works out.
I got you.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. One thing I'm still waiting to hear on here is doing me, Huge, and D New Blood Talent Cypher.
Cypher?
Yeah, we definitely gotta get that. Yeah, what?
What's a cipher?
Actually, that's what I was going to say.
Like,
Talking about more or less freestyle, right?
Yeah, freestyle cypher.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like we got to encrypt that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Josh and I come from programming backgrounds. Us, when you talk about a cipher, it means it's in a code.
Yeah, no, yard two, no.
Nah, like the Team Backpack ciphers, some shit like that.
That's what I figured that you meant, but it took me a minute because I'm sitting there. At first, I did send it to Josh. I flashed back. There was this class we were taking that we didn't get very far into on cryptography, and he's explaining simple cipher and probability distribution over a given universe of set of binaries or of binary bits. And I just suddenly flashed back to that class like I was in a freaking Gulf War vet. But by week 3, we were almost done with week 1. And we're like, Jesus, we're not finishing this class. This dude is way too much information. Nudes from Dean. He says actually he'll have something very soon. He said it might even be done this weekend. Obviously, as y'all know, he's been working with that guy Chris Lee, and so he's actually got some stuff in the works as well.
Good.
So
And if we don't, we're breaking his legs. Okay. That's
all right, Dean.
That's how we're doing things now. You have a track each week, or it's going to be like a Mafia Vig, or we snap something. We want a track each week from you guys.
Pull my hand out of my pocket.
And it better be a gold record. Do what, Huge?
So all I need is a laptop.
Say, well, like I said, I'm
putting that back on me. This is my fault.
Actually, like I said, well, one of the cool things what I'm working on is, like I said, those low-cost computers. And the cool part about it, and by the way, the cool thing about it is once I get that squared away, that software that I'm using, everyone will actually be able to use the exact same software because it's available on all 3 major OSs. So, like, literally, if you work on your girlfriend's computer and then you have it on your computer, you actually can have the exact same stuff on there. The software will work on both.
Wait, is that why you were asking me last night if I had a computer?
Yeah, I was going to go ahead and have you go ahead and set up the software so that way you can go ahead and familiarize yourself with it. I was actually going to do a class on it to kind of talk everyone through making their first track on there just so they can kind of feel what it's like. But if not, then that's fine. I'm working on getting some low-cost PCs for everybody. I just needed to know. And I know Dean's already got a computer. And,
yeah, it must be nice to be rich.
Oh, listen to that. You ain't got to be rich to get a computer.
Rich.
Ty, how much was that one that I showed, or that we were talking about you can get?
Oh,
Dual
50.
core processor, $50.
Yep. And 4 gigs of RAM and 200 gigabytes of memory.
Exactly.
Y'all motherfuckers are talking like Chinese right now to me because I'm not technology savvy, okay?
Whoa.
All right, Chinese are technology savvy.
Yeah.
I think you mean I'm speaking something else, like some tribal language or something.
Clicks.
Right.
Man, there might be somebody in Africa watching this and just got offended by that.
Right, because I probably just said something offensive without real.
If he speaks clicks, he ain't watching shit on the internet.
You don't know.
No, I don't know because no, you're wrong, Josh. Because let's not forget that internet cafes are big over there.
Only in Kenya, but they don't have much.
Nigeria also.
Well, Kenya is the internet cafe capital of the world, but
Well, Nigeria I know has a big one, and like, let's not forget 1 laptop per child.
Is that what they trade them for? Or?
No, it's actually this initiative to basically get these low-powered PCs or low-powered laptops, like basically the equivalent of like a MacBook or equivalent of like a Chromebook or a netbook, and with Ubuntu on there. And
I don't know what the exchange rate is, but I do know that in Somalia, 2 children are worth 1 camel. Just saying.
Well, it's because camels go
How
to
do
work for
you
you.
know this?
I don't know. Just the same way you know stuff.
Actually, I would say let me put it this way. The thing to understand is I'm the one who turned Josh into a legitimate businessman. No, I did not turn Josh into a businessman. I turned Josh into a legitimate businessman. He had plenty of plans before I came around for business, and he did lots of study on it. Matter of fact, he was learning Swahili for a while.
Oh yeah, that yeah. Well, we can't talk about that because that's like a felony.
Say, learning Swahili is a felony?
What I intended to do was a felony.
Oh yeah, I know what you intended to do was a felony. That's why I didn't say what you intended to do. I was saying that you were making inroads to make money. I'm just the one who turned you on to doing it through conventional routes.
Yes, I am well versed in the Swahili. Okay, Swahili. So I know a few African dialects.
Yep.
No clicks though. You learn that.
No clicks.
Clicks, sorry. But that comes in handy sometimes. You'd be surprised, you know what I'm saying? Not very often do you come across people that speak Swahili, but it's rare, and it has happened. I actually did a computer job one time because I could speak Swahili.
See?
Well, we were working at a computer company called Sport.com, me and my brother were.
Yep.
We did virus repair, and everybody was like, when they put together the team that we were called specialty team or whatever, they were like, anybody that speaks any foreign languages, I'm like, I don't know how useful this will be, but, and actually at one point they actually got somebody from Kenya to call in. I was like, holy crap. I do know that $1 equals 60 rands, or at least it did. So you need to know your currency exchange rate and stuff. But no, I've never traded children for camels, if that's what you're asking there, Mac.
That's what I want to know. I'm like, what the fuck are you? How the fuck do you know this, sir?
Chickens are worth more than AK-47s. Just saying.
Oh god.
AK-47s are cheaper on the market than chickens. This is important to know.
Are you gonna send us over to fucking Africa and do some black market trades? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe, if I got enough AK-47s. I don't know how to get them, though.
Yo, I will give you 50 chickens for 100 AK-47s.
Hey, on the bright side, then you can actually turn around and probably trade those 50 chickens or the 25 chickens or whatever for probably about 10 women.
It's about supply and demand over there, because over there, you know, like, what's valuable to us is it just like do you know what like, even now, if you go to like Santiago, Chile, a PlayStation 1 is worth $120.
Yeah, and I say a PlayStation 2 is something I gave to my neighbors because I felt bad for them because they didn't have any game systems. I was like, here, you have a PlayStation 2.
But yeah, like, and so yeah, you know, you should learn about fucking geography and culture of the world and stuff. You could learn a lot, you know what I'm saying? It really is kind of an awesome thing to realize. You get a better perspective of the world like that, you know.
History was one of my best subjects in school. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, let's get my trivia question. All right, Mike, you can ask question number 1. I got number 2 waiting.
Oh God.
So give him a trivia quiz. 'Cause I love trivia. So.
I'm trying to think of what to ask him.
Don't you know any history?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to figure out what to ask him that I think is a fair question to ask.
Well, you said he was he was his best subject. You said biggest buff. He was a history buff.
No, I never went to college. I'm only a high school graduate, so it has to be high school history.
That's okay. Mike didn't go to college for history either.
Hell no,
No, I didn't go to college at all.
Well,
No,
you
that's
don't take history in college if you actually have you don't.
Right.
It's not a required class. Like.
Right. The only cultural class I took in college was art appreciation, and I was an art fag in high school, and I still hated art appreciation in college. So,
You couldn't appreciate it.
it's like, no, I couldn't appreciate a teacher. By the way, my number 1 obstacle in college.
All right. What was the defining start of World War I?
Alright, hold on. I gotta think about this for real. It was the assassination of, I'm trying to fucking remember
Stop
the dude's
Googling.
name. I'm not Googling. I'm straight up not Googling. I'm still on my phone here in the Google Hangout.
You can ring in huge if you know the answer.
The name's on the tip of my tongue. He was
The tip of his nuts. That was an in. I know an in when I hear an in. It was on the tip of his nuts. That's what he said.
I had a girl on the tip of my tongue one time.
Like,
fuck y'all.
History buff. I don't know. Well, what started World War II?
Frank Archduke or something like that.
Archie Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, I knew Archduke was
Where
in there.
was he shot?
I remember the rest of the name.
In the head.
No, where was he shot, location-wise? And you don't Google either, Mike.
I know what you meant, and I don't know the answer to that one.
Sarajevo. He's an Austrian leader, though.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
sorry,
Now, we'll go huge a trivia question. Okay. Who was the first president of the United States?
Barack Obama.
Say, nope. Sorry.
I would accept any answer but Barack Obama.
Who was the first black president of the United States?
Oh, that wasn't the question.
No. So, the answer is we haven't had one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We've only had one who is half black. We have not had a black president yet.
Yeah, we have a biracial president. I don't think he's completely.
That's correct. He's our first biracial president. He is not the first black
And
president.
if you ask black people, they'll tell you the same thing.
Yep. So,
They're like,
Yeah,
"He's very-"
now they'll tell you the same thing, but when he was fucking elected, they won't.
no. They thought they were voting for Michelle Obama. They're like, oh, we're voting for Obama. Hell yeah, she's a pretty tough black lady. She's gonna be Pamela Greer up in here.
He kind of pitched himself as like a Clinton Jr., so they everybody figured, well, she'll be running the country while he's getting his dick sucked, and that didn't work out.
Exactly.
Rock.
Well,
I want to get laid. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying?
oh, it's easy. There weren't enough guys in the White House.
No, seriously. If you're gonna be the first black person in the White House, I would be pimping it up. You know, I would play the part.
Pitbulls on the lawn.
Pitbulls on the lawn.
Invite
No,
Michael.
I would do every cliche that there is. You know, fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken on the table. Every cliche that ever existed. That's what I would have done. I just want to get a Mexican in there. That White House lawn will be beautiful.
I think you're going to Google Hell for that one.
Google Hell. Oh no.
Sorry, this can't be displayed in any country.
Except Russia, those guys are they're allowed to be prejudiced as hell.
Well, I was to say, or except for in Latin America, where they'll actually find the joke funny because they don't mind actually laughing at themselves. Oh, that was pretty funny.
That's funny because I actually got the thought of it from something that was said off the George Lopez show.
Exactly my point. Because, like I said, the only ones who can't laugh at other people are white people, and I don't mean that because others won't let them. I mean that because white people get all uppity about it. I have never seen someone that can't laugh at themselves like white people won't allow you to laugh at others.
That reminds me of on y'all ever watch House MD?
Yep.
I watch House Party. Does that count?
House Party 2. Kid and Play. What? What, you don't like Kid and Play, Huge? He's about to cry or something.
Nah.
Are you huge? Are you stoned? If you're stoned, just say you're stoned. We'll just let you drift off with the stone bill.
No, because
we're holding you from all. By the way, are we cock blocking you by keeping you on here? Because we can be like, dude, it's fucking, it's 12. I'm gonna get this pussy.
Well, I'll say it's about time to hop off anyway.
Fucking hang up on you.
If you see your pussy, just hang up on us.
Who wouldn't? I'd be out of here sometime. Well, talk to you guys later. Click.
I can get my own damn show and do that.
What I'll do is I'll let if that ever happens, y'all know, because basically I'll stay on the air, but I'll just turn my music on and turn my microphone off, and then y'all can just mute me and unmute me when you want to hear a song. It's like, let's listen to what Mike's listening to. All right, he's listening to this song. Turn it back off now. Barry White, all right.
He's fucking the Barry White.
Oh, damn, that's old.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Maybe we do
He's
need
making
to,
love to Elvis. What the fuck's wrong with him?
Oh, I should note something, and this is actually important, and since we haven't actually left the air, even though we are actually already supposed to be off, recently B.B. King died.
Yeah.
So did,
and so that one was, I think that's, even though obviously I wasn't even thinking to do it, that's someone that's worth mentioning. It's important enough that we should actually make it a point to mention the fact that B.B. King recently died. So,
Yeah, but if Barack Obama dies, you won't hear a fucking thing.
We'll be like, hey, actually, who is his vice president?
Biden, Joe Biden.
Biden. Oh my God, we'll hear Biden's now president.
Syracuse University.
Say, listen to you, all your Yankee talk.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yankees.
you, just because I'm from the north, okay? Oh, and Dash 10 also passed away.
Who did?
Dash 10.
There's a lot of crickets going on in this room right now.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Who was that?
I don't know. Homies apparently knew him, and apparently he passed away recently. Apparently he was in the underground scene. I'd never heard of him myself until, I saw one of my homies post about it, and I'm like, I've never heard of this dude, but whatever.
I gotcha. Okay, no.
Okay. Recently, Crazy D is stoned. He wants you to know that. So.
Yeah.
He said he's stoned. I don't believe him because he hasn't proved it to me yet. You want to prove it to me, D? Send me some weed. Alright. Okay, so, back on track. Well, we always get off on, like, every other male topic, like drugs or pussy, you know what I'm saying? We're like... So we'll talk about music, and that just shows how the man's mind works, you know, it's like... So we jam out to a song, and then we're like, ooh, pussy, and then, you know, like, jam out to another song, and we're like, ooh, some drinking, ooh, pussy. You know?
Dude, I'm just saying, it happens every time I'm on the show, because every other time I'm not on the show...
I see your face, and I think pussy.
Oh, wow. Fuck
you gotta get laid, motherfucker, on air. You want to prove your manhood to us, you get laid on air. You
Man, I don't think y'all want to see my pale, fat, white ass, naked.
As long as you're pounding a little tight white ass, then you're good, you know what I'm saying? And it don't have to be white. We offered to buy you a hooker. I don't want to hear nothing.
Right.
You ain't got, like,
I'd rather
problems.
not
like, oh, you just got girl problems.
Oh, actually,
kill him.
Something else. This is actually important. Also, this is I fear if we have any listeners that are actually local to us, in High Octane Saloon in Homosassa, Florida, on June 6th, Big Smo will actually be coming there. So I'm assuming that means.
Too bad I'm not in Florida because I'd probably go to that show.
I was like, I'm assuming that means that no one knows who Big Smo is.
All right.
And
dude, I got WWE 2K15. He's on the soundtrack. All right.
Is he? Awesome. That is awesome.
He is on the soundtrack.
See, I've been listening to him for a while, but not because of anything like that. Actually, there was a guy that turned me on to, like I said, a lot of Southern rap. Like, you know, like, I don't know how to describe it. I guess you call it woods rap, hillbilly rap, because it's not about cities and nothing. It's actually, like Big Smo, Georgia Boys, and stuff like that. And so I listen to him because of them. I didn't even know he was on that soundtrack. That's awesome.
D said he will come on and smoke a joint on air. But what he doesn't know is that as soon as he does that, I'm going to report the video and his address to the local PD.
You would do that to one of your artists, you bastard?
I would do that to my mother.
Don't respect his art.
Do what?
Oh,
So you just said don't respect your artist.
Yeah, I don't have no qualms about who's. I'll do it to you. I'll do it to my mom. It just don't matter.
It's out of jealousy anyway. He's back in the high right now.
So does that mean you call the cops if you come out here for a damn show and I'm smoking on a joint with somebody? You call the cops on me?
Depends on what
actually. I'm gonna wait till you're in the middle of your first show with New Blood Town. I'm gonna call Homeland Security to have your ass put up on terrorism charges.
What?
Hey, no, in his defense, no.
I will explain to him that you have a cult following.
Right, I say the problem is you guys are thinking of it wrong. Y'all forget that as rappers, y'all having a police record actually boosts your career.
You're right.
Right. So
No.
you guys are thinking of it like he's gonna get you arrested. No, we're gonna get you arrested and then released because there's no foundation to the rule to what's going on. You get probation at most. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Man, that guy's got terror. He's blah blah blah." Call following.
Fucking terrorist. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's nuts. And then, of course, everyone knows who we are.
Yes. Look at 50 Cent the other day. Wasn't he? They were going to charge him with something. They decided not to charge him. I can't remember what that was about, but.
Oh, publicity. It was about publicity.
Well, I know what it was about, but but there was something specific about 50 Cent.
Is Googling.
Oh, Josh, I think you're just off your rocker and you can't remember a lot of things.
Weapons charges. No. Which was it? I'm trying to remember what it was. I figured it out. Jewelry store robbery. Apparently, he's no longer a suspect in the Las Vegas jewelry store robbery case.
He could have bought everything in there. Why would he attempt to steal it?
But apparently, at one point, he must have been a suspect, or they wouldn't be mentioning it. Do what?
He could have bought everything in there and walked right out. Like I don't get that.
It's the gangster mentality. Gangsters do not pay for stuff, even the mafia guys. People like
They
John Gotti, they have millions of dollars, but they don't pay for nothing. That's how they keep their millions of dollars. You're never going to see a gangster pay for something.
Yeah. Well, I gotta become a gangster then.
You become a gangster? First of all, you have to have a gang. Otherwise, you're just a stir.
Yeah, we do have a gang. It's called MBT.
Oh, that makes you the Don. That makes you the Don, Mike.
Yep.
You got a redneck.
No. I'll tell you the truth. I'll let you be the Don.
Why?
Oh, because I don't need to be in the public eye. I'll be like the Jew that controls the Don with banking. That way you get thrown in jail and I never do. I'm good with that.
Get thrown in jail. The guy, you can't take me alive, copper.
We won't miss you, Dick.
You won't miss me? Yes, you will. Who do you think does all your sales?
Right?
Surprised how much you miss me.
Nuh-uh, because Josh, I'll tell you right now, you will still be making sales. You know why? I will get JPay. You'll be able to make all the phone calls you want from jail. Just because you go to jail does not mean you get free.
Are you kidding me? You know what the best place to push rap is? In jail.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, you got to hear, when you get out, how long you got? You got 5 years? Awesome.
And I guarantee you, like I said, when they come asking about him being in jail, I will play up the NBT angle on that all the way through, man.
Maybe that's the angle. Oh, snap. I wonder, since they got JPay, I wonder if I can get stuff about NBT artists on the canteen shit list.
Actually, technically you can. In certain states, not here in Florida because they don't have it, but they actually have. You can part of JPay.
That's a marketing strategy. We'll market the criminals.
Part of JPay actually has that they can actually buy pre-approved MP3s and carry them around. Basically, have more or less like an iPod knockoff, and they can preload it with pre-approved MP3s from the JPay.
Nice.
They don't have that one in Florida yet, but they do have that in some states.
All right, I'll sell it in other states. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I was just letting you know. So unfortunately, like, because obviously
in New York, that prison's let you learn piano lessons.
Oh, they actually have. Damn it, man.
Actually driving to get a hooker.
Let's say. I'd say New York actually all the stuff that's
No,
available.
we are not driving to get a hooker.
Is your brother with you?
Yeah.
Put him on the camera.
With me.
Cool. Put him on the camera.
He's right there.
Hey, Frank, right? It's Frank.
Indeed.
You interested in getting a hooker tonight? Come on.
Kind of tired. I could go for sex.
See? He can go for sex.
I can go for sex.
You and Mac can tag teamer. But no.
I'm not all into that whole macaroni and cheese thing.
Hey, well, we're not going to pay twice for you guys, you know what I'm saying? It's a one-shot Johnny, you know? It's the same pussy, you know what I'm saying? Just used twice.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't really have to pay for us twice. Mac here only lasts 30 seconds.
What the fuck ever?
We'll bill by the hour then. Can we prorate that?
We'll take her for like 3 hours, and he can have the first 2 minutes.
Oh, snap.
See, this is why I do not love my family.
Everybody loves family. Family's awesome. Family makes you do the stupidest fucking things on the planet. My family got me more trouble than anybody ever.
Sorry, I wasn't saying a damn thing about that.
What? You got me in trouble. Don't act like you haven't.
Like I just said, I wasn't saying a damn thing about that.
I know I've got you in trouble
did
plenty
Hughes
of times.
leave?
Yeah, Huge left. I think he was tired or stoned or.
Like I said, Taylor was supposed to be wrapping up anyway, so.
Yeah, he was tired from like hour to hour. Anyway.
Too many hookers.
Nah, he's just old lady. Kill him.
Well, I was gonna give Huge some credits, but since he dropped off now. Look out for Huge's new track that he's working on with Kim. Mac Hatchet, we're still working on his first EP, but it will be released on New Blood Talent Records. I want to thank NBT, our sponsors, Bad Bird Productions and Social Radio. I want to thank our fans and viewers because we love those guys. You know, they're awesome.
I'd like to thank Mac Hatcher for that wicked soundtrack that we're hearing in the back right
now.
Flashing lights. Sorry, not from cops.
I was saying, yeah. It's like,
Are you getting pulled over? Run it! Run it!
Yeah, it's like,
hit the gas.
Yeah,
We
do
will
it,
air
man.
this live.
Because we will stay on the air extra long if you start getting chased by the cops, man. That's happening.
That does happen. If they're pulling you over, just hit the gas and run. Just don't hit nothing or they'll shoot at you.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
If that's the case, the wrong person's driving.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
the
Frank, take the
wrong
window.
person is driving on that.
Okay, so they're not getting pulled over. Well, that sucks.
All right, then I guess we're off.
Snap!
What?
What?
Grab the GPS location from his phone where he's at now and call the cops on him.
Oh,
Fuck you guys.
We will report a murder. 2 guys in a truck.
We're
Nice.
not in the truck, sorry.
Well, that's okay because you guys are still. We'll go ahead and give them reasonable descriptions, and they'll still end up pulling you over, and then you'll still have a story to tell about it. But sorry, we're just going to check on you because we got a call.
Yeah.
And then that's when I go call you guys and go, you guys are dicks.
Yeah, but you'll do it from jail.
Nuh-uh, because like I said, we'll bail you out. You'll be out in no time. The charges won't stick.
We'll only be there more than 30 days, you know what I'm saying? Tops.
No, 2 or 3 days
thanks.
tops.
Well, you guys
So we
are
can't-
definitely going
we
to be
can't bail you out
giving
till
me
Monday.
more money than that.
It's
Well, no-
Saturday in the AM. We can't bail you out till Monday.
We
You
wouldn't
won't
bail you
get
out.
bailed.
The thing is, we want to make sure that the local news gets a chance to get the mug shots and all that stuff. So that
Yeah,
way
we
we
need
got
mug
some new
shots.
promo. Man, new promo
We'll put
shots.
that on your fucking new album.
Exactly. We'll do in time.
Doing time. Hell yeah. Doing time with Mac Hatchet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a name for the second E EP.
Say, well, we might have one if Josh makes that phone call.
No.
See, I think it's a good idea, but I guess. Well, let's let the fans vote on it whether I should call the cops on you.
How? Hell no.
It's up to the fans. They're your fans. They're your fans. You want to please your fans, don't you?
If you're getting gas.
Oh, I don't know why I parked here. I don't know. Man, do you want me to throw guys in? All right.
Okay. All right. So back to the finishing announcements. We got 5 minutes left. All right. I want to thank all our sponsors, of course, because, well, they haven't shut us off the air. That's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to thank Frank for being here because he's always awesome when he's on here. Matter of fact, we're not going to invite Mac next time. We're just going to invite Frank. That's right, Frank.
Fuck
That's what's
you.
up.
At least with me, you know you're gonna get some nipple.
Hey, he's willing to walk on you with a hooker. You're not.
There's your new album. Hookers and Doing Time.
There you go.
Hookers and Doing Time. That is an album cover and a half.
What we'll do is we'll take
put
the
your actual mugshot and the actual picture of the hooker that got
That's
you
what I was thinking.
on the fucking cover.
But what we'll do is actually we'll go and we'll cut them out and we'll put them like they're in a we'll get like a backdrop like a CD alleyway type thing, and we'll actually go ahead and transpose them onto it.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. What you do is you take her body and superimpose his mugshot on her body.
Right. So when you pose for your mugshot, make it a sexual pose.
Right, I say make it sexy.
Yeah, like ooh.
And when it's over, say, "Ooh, what a lovely tea party."
What the fuck?
They'd be like, sir, can you stand straight? You'd be like, just lift your hands in the air, or like you're getting head or something. You know what I'm saying? We can edit it all in later. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get it in editing.
All right.
Y'all are fucked up.
Always. All right. Hopefully next week we will have Wesley Woody, who sings Breakfast at Shoney's, who is also a professional wrestler. So,
and
if I can get his brother Junior, who used to wrestle ECW, we will get him as well.
EC-Dub. EC-Dub.
And apparently Wesley's a great man because he was talking about his birthday and he happened to mention that the cake is a lie. Although everyone who's on his friends list sucks because not a single one of them knew what it was a reference to. Like, they're like, what, are you saying that you're not having cake? He's like, no. He's like, I'm not giving you a cake. I'm giving you a chance to think about the cake. No, like nothing. They have no clue what the hell he's talking about. There it is.
But yeah, we'll hopefully we'll have him here next week, and he's a pretty interesting guy. So definitely everybody tune into that.
Although you have to make a decision ahead of time, and you have to talk to him about it, whether you want to invite Wesley Woody, the Hillbilly Scruggins, or Scruffins, or whether you want Fatty McNasty. You have to find out who you want to invite.
Is this like inviting Mick Foley?
Which gimmick you want on the air?
What's that?
Which gimmick you want on the air?
Who's Mickey Wana? I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I said which gimmick you want on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gimmick, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That's what the point. It was like when you invite Mankind to something, it's different than when you invite Mick Foley to something.
Or Cactus Jack, or
Cactus Jack, or Dude
Love. Dude Love. Oh!
I don't want to invite him, but I would invite Sacco on the show.
Sacco. Just invite Sacco. That would be awesome.
Like, hey, you're just here to give him a lift, you know what I'm saying? You can't talk.
But yeah.
Snap! Also, because we were talking about getting other people on the show that aren't necessarily music related, we were actually at one point talking about amateur stand-up comedians, and I was thinking now, since we got video to our show.
That would be that one right there.
Magicians.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, like young David Copperfields before they're Copperfields, you know, because we couldn't get him on the show, or Chris Angel, because, well, we're not that.
Who'd want to get? I say, because who'd want to get Chris Angel on the show?
I think that would boost ratings. People like him. I mean, some of them like him more than David Copperfield.
No,
I'm like, he's so extravagant. He's got the best. I'm like, I was like, David Copperfield, you make the Statue of Liberty disappear. You got something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, top that, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Chris Angel made a whole half ounce of weed disappear, okay?
Oh, okay.
That's pretty impressive.
I can make a case of beer disappear.
I can make a hooker disappear, just tell her you're not paying her.
Oh.
See, that's what Max was saying. I can make a hooker disappear. You just got to decide how many bodies and how many trash bags.
When that hooker disappears, you don't pay him, the pimp reappears.
I'm bigger than most pimps in Auburn, so I ain't got to worry about that.
I'm the king of pimps. Frank, the king of pimps. That is your new nickname, Frank. You are Frank, the king of pimps.
King of pimps.
Talk about it. That's your new nickname. And we will invite you on the show one day, just you on the show, so that you can talk about shit. And you can talk about Mac.
As a matter of fact, what we'll do is we won't even invite Mac on the show so you can badmouth him all you want.
That's what we'll do. We will invite, like, the boyfriends, girlfriends, siblings.
Wow, you just got lumped in with boyfriends and girlfriends of Mac.
No, of not a Mac, of all of our artists. We'll get, like,
but they
all on the show. We'll get like Huge's mom on the show, and we'll get like you know.
That's the one. No, that's the one, Josh. We get the parents of our artists on the show.
You think your mom or dad would come on the show, Mac?
Not my dad, because me and him are not on good terms.
Well, that's the perfect one to get.
Oh.
We'll let him
regular episode.
And then we'll get Huge's mom on the show, or dad. His mom probably, because his dad might go on.
Drunk.
No,
Dave
might. I don't know if he knows how to work your computer like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how.
Man, he posts to Facebook. He can figure out how to get on the damn.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He does have a Facebook. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get Huge's dad on the show. We'll get Mac's dad on the show, and we'll get Dean's dad or girlfriend. Something. I think we should get his wife or whatever, Dean's girlfriend or whatever she is. On the show.
Since they're actually married.
Dean. Or we can get Dean, Lisa, and Frank on the show, since Mac doesn't currently have a girl. He's all the ladies' men. But and we'll get them on the show, because I want to hear what the significant others have to say about them.
No, even better.
Okay.
Matt, who was the last woman you slept with?
Yeah.
His hand.
No, actual woman.
Before her.
Right? Yeah. We're not picking current girlfriend. We're not picking current girlfriend.
A hooker will do.
Right.
The last girl was a hooker.
Cinnamon. Cinnamon
A
was
girl
last.
that I no longer talk to.
Perfect. That is exactly
Perfect. That's the person.
Exactly.
Together. Give me a couple weeks and see if I can put this together, and I think we'll do this. I want to hear from the MBT artists, friends and relatives. I really do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Because they got the good juice on them. They got the stuff that nobody knows. How's that sound?
I can tell you stories.
Oh, okay, Frank. Frank, you got stories?
I'm saying. So Frank is definitely on the list.
Okay, we'll put Frank on there for Mac. We'll get Rachel on here for Dean.
And David Marcy.
Whichever one for Huge.
Both, man. Get them both on there.
No, sorry, Dean. It is a good idea. I came up with it. Of course, it's a good idea. And then we'll get Lisa on here.
Yeah.
To do it for Huge.
Maybe he was a hooker.
See,
told you it was a hooker.
I think Mac just got a male hooker trying to jump into his car.
That's okay. We'll pay for the male hooker too. We're not discriminatory like that.
That was very discriminative of you. Said who was the last lady you was with? Maybe.
You're right. Sorry. Who was the last individual? I'm sorry. Everyone's an individual. Who was the last individual? I didn't
Yo,
mean to
I am
pigeonhole you.
not gay. Fuck y'all.
Well, no, it's not gay.
Wait. I have a question. How can you be not gay and want to fuck us at the same time? That just does not make any sense.
Good point. So he's bi-curious.
Okay, I got you. Oh, well, I mean, like I said before, I know that I have that effect on pretty much everyone around me.
I'm curious too.
That's it. So.
Y'all are a bunch of technical assholes. That's all y'all are.
Hey, Josh. Now there's two things.
He's obsessed with your asshole.
now Josh is technical and
I'm
sexy.
gonna stop doing these when you're around, you fucker.
No. The rule is your hype man has to be with you. He's your hype man porn star. Remember, that's the new rule. That's how we do it now.
He's
Frank,
not my hype man. My hype man's back in Syracuse.
Is he gonna be a porn star too?
He just might now that he broke up with his old lady.
Okay, if he's willing to be a porn star, then we'll talk about him and Frank. We have to see how he treats you on the air because, like I said, Frank's kind of like a pot of gold, man. You don't give that up easily.
Yeah.
Got a point.
I gotta say, I like Frank. He's always interesting when he's on here.
Y'all would like Frank because he's just like you.
Nice.
You must be a good man, Frank.
If you're like me, you're definitely a good man. I already know that right now. Okay, so now that we got our next few debates up, we got Wesley hopefully for next week, and then possibly Junior, and so we got the wives of the wives and mothers of
actually the family of
our artists. That's always interesting. Oh snap! DJ Logic's dad.
Oh my God. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
No. You know who else would be awesome is DJ Logic's mom because she dotes on him.
Well, considering we're going with I might just bring in Devastation Diabolics.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
Hey, my family are a bunch of white trash hillbillies, man. We're always for good TV. That's why they put us on all the shows.
And I think next week, if she's
Is he related to Honey Boo Boo?
I want DJ Cupcake on here next week. Can we make that happen?
Yeah, we can make that happen, man.
All right. Let her know that next week. I want her on the show, and she definitely.
I don't know how that'll work out the mic.
Actually, hold on one second. Let me check something. Actually, next week we can't do the show till Saturday.
Why's that?
Next week's my vow renewal, dude.
Oh, okay. Yes.
We can give it a shot, but I have a feeling that everyone's gonna be drunk as fucking and some.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we can try broadcasting from Mom's house where the reception is if there's anybody left after the cops are called.
We can try that. But we'll set up for Sunday because Saturday's a day.
Okay. Actually, Sunday's my day, man. You can't be stealing my fucking day.
I've sold it before. What's the difference?
Asshole. We'll try. Okay, here to all the.
I gotta have at least Saturday to hang over because I plan to drink.
Oh, what a fucking baby! Oh God.
Did you invite like IQ and any of them to the reception?
I invited Robo Rob since he invited me to his, but he said that he probably couldn't make it because obviously they had to take a lot of time off work and stuff. And I was like, whatever, no big deal. Right. He gave me the name, the location of the cupcake place. That was the most important part.
That's important.
Oh, for the people, just in case that way I'm saying it in front of a group of people. At the reception, we are not having hard liquor, except for my dad, because you can't get him anywhere unless there's rum. But he's the only one drinking hard liquor. Everyone else, we're going to stick with wine and beer. That way it can last a little bit longer.
Does it have to be wine and beer? I mean, can I drink, like, malt liquor or something?
Yeah, if it's like a Four Loko type bullshit, you can do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I just meant
the only thing I really like drinking is Coors, and nobody else likes drinking Coors.
I'll get you Coors, man.
Okay, Coors, like get some Coors Light or something like that.
Yeah, I'll get. That's fine. I'll
get
you
Coors.
Fucking right, rock the Rockies, bitch.
I'm not a Coors fan myself, honestly. But like I said, no.
Fucking Budweiser, bro.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, man. That's the shit.
PBR, come on, man.
You're redneck.
Say, actually, I'm a hillbilly, but
yeah.
tell
about he's beyond redneck. He's
redneck would be Keystone.
Redneck's preached to be
redneck.
Say,
like that guy's a fucking hillbilly.
Oh shit! You guys should see my fucking formal hat. Oh man, I got this badass fucking hat.
Oh yeah, you gotta take a picture with that and put it up on your profile.
Oh my god! Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll take a picture in a couple minutes. Everyone, once we get off here. Oh, after we get off here, check my Facebook and you'll see. I'll have a picture of me.
Actually, post it to the Sostra page or send it to me. I'll post it.
Actually, I'll send right. You can go ahead and share it to the Sostra page. I'll go ahead and I'll get that on because man, that hat is so fucking awesome. Oh, apparently Tara has a picture of it with me wearing my Ovid's Withering shirt and my hat. So if y'all check out my wife's page also.
Nice. I check out your wife all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't blame it, man. That ass she's got is amazing.
I know. I love being up in that. Ooh, burn.
Say, that's all right. I just go past the part you use.
Oh, that's all right. I don't care what part I use. That doesn't matter to me. I'll use what I don't want to use. You can say the right part you don't want to use, and I'll stay. If you're like sticking in her fucking ear, her ear's fucked.
Right, like Josh, you can have the first 2 inches. I don't use that spot for that part anyway.
And I won't
You'd be surprised how far the nose will stretch.
Well, I can't hear all three of y'all at the same time. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, Tara was at work. She said one of the black girls there was like, she's like, damn woman, you look like you're smuggling a pair of kegs in there. And she's like, and so Tara was like, when a black girl tells you that you got a huge ass.
Yeah, she's got a nice ass, so it's not like really big. It's
no,
nice.
It's not huge like bad. It's huge like good. It's huge like those ones that everyone.
It's the fat with a P.
Exactly, it's the pH fat.
The pH fat. They got high pH levels.
Nope, it's acidically neutral.
Balanced ass.
Exactly, that's what I say. It's acidically neutral. With a capital ass.
Sounds like Mac's sex life.
I'm definitely having Frank on the show. Well, we gotta have Mac on there too.
Oh my God! Actually, we need to get him.
All y'all motherfuckers can go to hell.
Frank needs to start doing his own show. We need him a partner. Josh, do you remember the comic I drew in middle school? I used to draw a comic. It was Frank and Explicit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So we need to get him. We need to find DJ Explicit, whoever the fuck that is, and Frank needs his own show, so it'll be Frank and Explicit.
That's awesome. That's a good idea.
Yep.
That might come up. Alright, so I don't know what was up with Huge tonight, but he seemed out of it. And usually he's pretty excited.
I don't know what it was either, but you know, the way I see it is he got two choices. You can have fun or, you know, you can sit there and mope. Your choice.
Well, maybe he decided to mope, I don't know.
That's what I was guessing. I figured he was just exercising his right to mope. It's a free country, man. You can mope wherever you want. There's no law against it.
Yes, there is.
Mopri with intent to creep.
What the hell is Mopri? I love that. Damn, now I'm gonna go watch Revenge of the Nerds, bitches.
Oh, I figure you could just watch the Psych episode. You can get to that part a lot quicker.
Nice. Yeah, but I like Revenge of the Nerds. Shit, you can't fuck with that. That stuff's awesome 80s shit.
That one and Real Genius.
Oh god, I love Real Genius.
Real Genius is probably the best movie ever made.
It was Val Kilmer's best movie.
Yeah, it definitely was his. Oh, what, you didn't like his Batman works?
Not really.
I know, that's why I'm saying that.
I like Michael Keaton.
He wasn't a great Batman.
West.
Apparently, you might as well go ahead and cut it off, because apparently you pissed off Mac, too. He's out.
Mac's out, too. Okay, well.
All right, well, all our fans, if you liked us, thank you very much. And if you listened and didn't like us, well, fuck yourselves.
I'm interested to see how many views this one gets, because we ran off our own artists. That's got to be a talent in itself.
By the way, you're still alive.
That's fine. All right, everybody. We love you at Sostra. Come tune in next week, where we'll, like I said, hopefully we'll have a bunch of wrestlers. So, all right, we're out.
All right.